Classiest place on earth. Oh, my camera's fucked. What the shit? What the shit? Good morning, everyone. My hair was way too tight. I put it in a ponytail and I need to fix it. Good morning. How are you? I'm gonna sit here and do this while we chit chat. Good fucking morning, Slurm. How are you? Uh, where did my comb go? Guess I don't have a comb. My hair's too heavy. Good morning, Bub. How are you, love? I put my hair in a ponytail and it's just like I could feel it pulling my fucking forehead. It's just too much. I gotta split it, man. I guess I'm just a pigtail hoe these days. Coffee cheers, love. How are you? I'm sorry. I fromed it. Um, I foamed it. How are you all doing? Hold on. I need to fix this music real quick. I apologize for being so fucking late. I literally died overnight. I don't know what happened. I was so goddamn tired. I guess I literally like slept through every alarm I had. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no answer. It was so like I don't normally sleep this much, so that was weird for me. Turn down mute. There's too much noise. Too much noise. Okay. Anyways. Oh, good morning. I hope you're all doing well. Happy Thursday, I suppose. Whatever day it is. I'm using a paintbrush to part my hair. Don't judge me. Oh my god, cake. Yes, please. Take it. Seriously, like I've had multiple hairdressers take my hair and they'll take this part, just the crown. Like different hairdressers will do this and they'll be like, "Katie, this is a normal person's hair and this is two other people's hair." I know, it's just too much. It's great, like the volume's great and I realize like, the fucking what's the word? The grass is always greener, right? But my hair is redonkulously heavy because it's not just thick, it's coarse as fuck and it's just too much hair. This is ridiculous. It's just so heavy. It literally, I could feel it like pulling my forehead back. I'm sorry. I just need to split it. I gotta distribute the weight. Sucks, man. I'd trade you any fucking day. Young at heart. Oh my god. You got your cardio slap. Oh my god.
Thank you for subbing to the class, keeping the class alive, and giving the native swings for 34 fucking months, honeybean. How are you? Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dapper.
I'm sorry if I miss anybody. Yeah, I'm just fixing. Just fixing. Shit was too heavy. This is why I cut my hair in the first place. I kind of forgot. If you're new-ish to my channel or you haven't been around, the last 8 years, I used to have hair to my waist. And, what the fuck is that hair? You don't belong there. I used to have hair down to my butt crack. And I would put it in a bun almost every single day because it was just so fucking heavy. It drove me crazy. And, I noticed it gave me migraines because it's so heavy. And that's why I cut my hair. I forgot. Migraines because it's so fucking heavy. Slurm, you fucking silly fuck. Thank you for gifting a sub to Najeel. Najeel, use the bow wizard of the highest order to go forth and be consensual in all the ways. And thank you for being here today. Banana Hamhog just gifted 3 months of a tier 1 sub to Dapper Dame. The fuck? Thank you, and thank Dapper Dame. Use a bow wizard of the highest order, baby. Go forth and be consensual in all the ways. Thank you. Oh, what side am I doing? This side. Oh, continuing. Oh, shit. I thought it was Oh, I'm an idiot. Thank you for continuing your gifted sub. What the fuck? Why did it say? Oh my god, it is a continue. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I can read. It's because I'm scattered. I'm sorry. Let me fix my stupid hair. That's my bad. Thank you for continuing your gifted sub, Slim. Thank you for all. I mean, honestly, it doesn't. I'm thankful no matter what. God. Too much hair. Sorry. I hate doing this on stream, but it's just too much. It's too heavy. Oh my god, I didn't put a band-aid on my hand either. Damn it. I'm so behind today. You guys want to see my cut? That's the cut. That's the stab. It really doesn't look as bad as it is. It's fucking painful. But I do need to put Band-Aids on it. Sorry, I'm running way back. Oh my God. You know what? We're keeping it. Fuck this. I like it. I like it. We're going there. I need to put Band-Aids on this before I fucking... It slurm. It was real bad, man. I showed the knife yesterday. I don't know if you saw it. It was bad. It, like, I don't scare easily. And it scared me. Like, I was like, oh no. Oh no. I don't want to go to the hospital. Yeah, it was just like, it's the corner of like a cleaver kind of thing. Just stabbed the... I mean, it went to my knuckle. That's what hurts so bad. Is it literally just is on top of the pinky knuckle. And it went straight down. And it's just like, ugh. Pain. 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 Wow, I'm really running behind. I'm so sorry, guys. Sorry, I'm like, this is all the shit I normally do in the morning before I go live. I apologize. I apologize. Thank you, Mercutio. Thank you so much for summoning the class, keeping the classy alive, and giving an ace swings, you silly fuck. I appreciate you. Thank you. I already cleaned it and everything. I already did like all the cleaning. I just forgot to put the Band-Aids on. Just so it doesn't get dirty. I know. Well, that's what scared me, Crispy. Honestly, like when it happened, I looked at it and I saw the bone and I was like, oh no. Because it didn't hurt right away. I don't know how to... It was real weird. It didn't hurt right away. I think because it literally like probably severed a nerve or something. But it did not hurt immediately. It mostly, I just sat there and was like, oh no, and looked at it and it was so open. I was like, oh yeah, that sales crazy. No pain. Didn't hurt until like an hour later. And then the bottom of my pinky knuckle started hurting. Why? I don't know. Weird things. Yeah, there was no pain. It was real weird. It just scared me because I saw it. They burn. Yes. Sales, what is that? I'm not kidding. I was talking about that yesterday morning. So when I did it, I'm shaking. It scares me so much. I just don't want to go to the doctor. When I did it, it didn't hurt. By the way, thank you for the hype train. I just realized we're in, you silly fucks. Thank you. I did it and it didn't hurt or anything. And I texted Zach because Zach wasn't home. And I was like, just so you know, this was on accident. And I stabbed myself. And I'm a little scared right now. And he's like, okay, do I need to come home? I was like, no, you're fine. I'm taking care of it. And then within like a couple hours, I could have swore I mean, with how deep it is and the fact that I went to the bone and I saw my fucking pinky bone, I guarantee I nicked a nerve somewhere in there. But yeah, what Mishy said, it's like this part right here, like that little pad of my pinky was on fire on the bottom though, not where the cut was. Like the cut area has not hurt at all. It's always this weird dull ache right here. Like yesterday when I clapped like a fucking idiot, it's just this searing ache down the top side of my hand. It's real weird. It's weird and I hate it. Yeah, it was burny though. It was, I mean, it scared me. I don't know. I don't think I've ever cut myself to the bone. I've cut myself a lot, not on purpose. Well, no. But yeah, ow. Don't fuck around with sharp knives, my dudes. Do not do that. I don't have any big Band-Aids. I only have these tiny little fuckers. All right, that works. Oh, it was Dame. It was a freak accident. I wasn't even using the knife. That's the irony of the whole thing. It was literally a freak accident. Safi by my love. Good morning. Literally, I was putting dishes away, just like, you know, fast. I don't know. I move fast. And we have like the butcher block, and then we have this like wooden 3-container, like a kitchen utensil holder thing on the counter. And I had grabbed like all the spatulas and whatever out of the dishwasher, and I was putting them back. And I like took the handle of one and jammed it down like that into the holder right next to the butcher block. And the ass of this knife, this knife doesn't have a name, like the type of knife it is. It looks like a cleaver, but it's only like this thick. It's like a chef knife or some shit. And the ass of it is just as sharp as the tip, if not sharper, because you never use the ass of the thing. And I just fucking like poo right down on it with all my might and power. And the only reason I stopped is because it hit the bone. I was like, huh! I literally just like pulled my hand away like I was stung by something and just sat there and was like, oh no. Oh, I'm alone. I know. Well, that's the thing. I could have taken my fucking pinky off. That knife is sharp enough. I'm not to exaggerate. The knife is definitely sharp enough to take my fucking pinky finger off. So I'm glad I only hit the bone, but ouch, it hurts. My hand is stupid. But we found a cool clicker game to play, so I'm not too bummed. Ouch, ouch, ow. Ow, 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 ow. What is with this one? I don't. Oh well, we're gonna be lopsided. I don't care. No fainting. I mean, honestly, sales close, close. Anybody that knows me knows bones are my downfall. I don't know what it is. Nothing creeps me out more than bones. Bones, bones, bones. It's a no bones day in this house every day, all the time. I can't stand them. I don't know what it is. They make me like vomit. Anything that has to do with like bones. I don't know why. It's the only thing I can fucking dissect people. I could do cardiac massage all fucking day. But your bones freak me out. So, Rob Insomniac, silly fuck. Thank you so much for subbing to the class, keeping the classy alive and giving it your swings. I'm officially bandaged and ready to go. Good morning, everybody. Only 30 minutes in. How are you? You need that pinky if you ever have to apologize to the accuser. Also, like, how am I supposed to be classy? We have a similar knife and was cutting a bagel in half. All of a sudden went through the last bit of it and boop. Oh, no. Your bones are always wet. That's why dogs are licking your skin. It's kind of why I don't like eating ribs. It's freaky. It is. Bones are freaky. They're freaky. G-J-D. I'm going to fuck your name up for the rest of fucking history, and I don't know why. Thank you so much for subbing to the class. Keeping the class alive and giving it a swings, you silly fuck. I appreciate you. Don't forget to use your Prime subs. Every time you don't use your Prime sub, you're firmly tucking a $5 bill into the G-string of Jeff Bezos. And the bitch does nothing for society. Let's stop. Choose a streamer who needs it. Doesn't have to be me. It could be anybody, but thank you very much. Nope. Oh my God, Safi. Saf, have I ever told you about the first time I ever saw a butterfly chest? No. That's something I never want to experience ever again in my life. I've now experienced it many, many times, but the first time I ever saw a chest get butterflied, I was so not emotionally, physically, or in any way, shape, or form ready. Good morning. Have a good stream. Yeah, I was not ready. So Saf knows, if you're in medicine, you know this. I'm not trying to think you guys are stupid, but your sternum is like it's literally this shield for your heart. So in order for us to get into your chest cavity for surgery, we literally saw your fucking sternum in half. But if it's an emergency, we tend to not have the tools to get through your sternum as fast as we need to in the ER. So what we do is it's called a butterfly, where we go through with a much less intense saw, and we saw all your ribs and crack you open like a butterfly. Nope. The Ta Dow. Oh, we got snow. We got more snow today too, Nick. Are you getting a lot? That's a clean cut, darling. Literally, it was so clean. It didn't even bleed right away. That was the other weird thing. It didn't bleed. Blossoming Grass with the Prime sub. I knew there was another one. I was scrolling for it. Thank you so much for some of the class, keeping the classy alive and giving native swings. I fucking appreciate you. Cake, I'm not kidding you. It looked like a chicken bone. It like, have you ever like cooked chicken and you look at the chicken like knuckle, the tendon, it's all like pink and white and weird. That's literally because there was no blood. It didn't bleed for like a minute. It was real gross. That's why, I mean, I just kind of like froze. I don't know. I haven't done that before. Ugh. I hurt myself a lot. I mean, I've literally seriously injured myself a lot, but I don't think I've ever cut myself to the bone. I eat my dinner watching surgery videos of that shit. Me too. But you know what? I don't know what it is. Because I can watch bones stuff, but I don't know. God, I don't know what it is. And it's not even like I don't get sick, I faint. Like there's something so inherently broken in me that when bones get involved, my body goes, oh yeah. I don't know what it is. Like I've told you this before, Saf, when I worked in the ER, because I'm like really big, this is not a bone breaking story, by the way. Because I'm really tall and like sturdy, they use me as an anchor all the time to reset bones. So if you come into the ER with a dislocated shoulder, dislocated hip, so on and so forth, what they'll do is they'll have me stand on one side of the bed and they'll wrap a sheet around my waist, and then they tie the sheet around the bone of the person, and like I have to sit there and hold the sheet around my waist and basically like put all my weight against it while the doc like manipulates the person to try to put the bone back. And you can feel, like, I don't know, what's the word? Like, the tactile vibrations of them scraping the bone around in its joint through the blanket that's around my waist, if that makes any sense. It's so weird to describe. Like, I could feel what he was doing inside the person, and my body was just like, I didn't faint, but I was so goddamn close. I felt it. I was spinning. So close. And nothing, I mean, it was Papa. It was grindy. Yeah, I can't think, because you couldn't audibly hear it, but I could hear it in my waist, if that makes any sense. I observed in an osteo operation, the surgeons are assholes, but what they do with tools from Home Depot are amazing. Surgeons, I mean, yes, most medical professionals are assholes. I can't even, like, I don't know. I'd love to just sit and stick up for every medical professional ever and be like, no, we're not. We're assholes. But honestly, this isn't an excuse. This is just my theory. I think people that work in life-saving scenarios kind of have to have not a god complex, good morning, Kinger, but more of like a God, what's the word for it? I'm trying to think of it. It's kind of like a god complex, but they don't actually think they're God. It's just in order to do what we do, you have to have a level of confidence that comes off as assholery. Does that make sense? It's not excusing the shitty behavior, but in order to just open someone up and start cutting up inside of them like this, I can't think of the word for it. It's definitely something. I mean, I've thought about it myself because there are certain things like an IV scares the shit out of me. I will not touch your IV. I will not touch the drugs in your IV. I don't know how they work. That's not my scope of practice. IV poles are nurses. They're all the IV poles have those boxes on them now that are a machine inside, and you like dial in the dose and the machine doses the bag to the patient and all this shit. It's a whole other thing. That stuff I cannot fathom touching because it scares the living shit out of me. I would kill somebody. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. But I intubate people, do ABGs, and cut people open all the time, and I don't even think twice about it. Because I know I'm a badass and I can do it, and I like assume that's gotta be the same mental process for every specialist in a hospital in order just to do what we do. Because in my mind, like, I'm almost, like, brainwashed to think no matter what I'm doing is life-saving, but a lot of what I'm doing is horrific for the human body. You know? I don't know. It's hard to describe, but it's weird. They've been right so many times they don't think they can be wrong. And if they did think they could be wrong, they wouldn't be a good surgeon. Like, you can't be a not confident surgeon, right? I don't know. How do you word that? It doesn't excuse them being assholes ever. But like when I worked in surgery with them all the time, there was this, part of my brain that super wanted to tell them to go fuck themselves because they're being an asshole. But also, I have to step back and be like, look at what they're doing. Like, we're not picking out paint and lows. They're cutting out someone's abdominal cavity. You can be I guess you get to be an asshole. Because if someone wasn't listening to me while I was instructing them on something to do with my ventilator or my intubated patient, I would very quickly turn into an asshole. Because I'm serious. You know what I mean? It's serious shit. Like, when I say, put the pressure to 35, and you go, I'm going to go, hey, dickwad, pressure to 35 now. You know what I'm saying? And that might come off as a dick move, but I'm saving the patient's life. You know what I mean? It doesn't excuse it. I know I can be an asshole. I absolutely know. Almost everybody can be. But when I'm in a when I'm working, my patient is my child. And I will be an asshole to protect my patient. I don't care if you're family. I don't care if you're administration. I don't care if you own the fucking hospital. That is my child. And they will live on my shift. You know what I mean? So, like, I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. I used to work in a surgical center, so I worked with surgeons constantly, and I try to give them the benefit of the doubt because it is a hard job. You need to be detached enough to function according to reality, whether it's pleasant or not. Yes. Yeah, it is. It's literally a form of detachment, 100%. Exactly, Brock. Yeah, no one wants a surgeon who's like, I'm gonna try my best, but I don't fucking know. I got pink eye, dude. Yeah, exactly. My mom's like that, but with less physically altering consequences. 100%. I mean, there's a lot of different jobs that require that level of confidence. I'm sure. I can only speak to my personal experience, right? I'm sure it's just something to put pressure on. For real, though. Pressure is more important than pulling out whatever's stuck in you. Yes, exactly. Patient life versus coworker feelings. Patient will always win. Ismira, abso-fucking-lutely. I mean, and I hate, like, you guys know, my first review at Hopkins, I was told I was unapproachable. I was like, bitch, I'm literally the Grim Reaper. Do you want me to stand behind people as I unplug Nana like, what the fuck? I keep my patients live and I have a perfect record. That's what's important. That's all I care about. Fuck yourself. Someone else's life is more important. Exactly. And especially when it comes to family and stuff like that, it sucks because people who don't work in a medical atmosphere do not understand that. And so there will be people who will be like, I want to fire my nurse because she's being mean to me or she's being mean. And it's like, she's not being mean. You keep pulling your IV out of your arm and she is taping it back in. And is being like, act like a child, get treated like a fucking child. You know what I'm saying? The only difference is in the hospital, we can legally strap you to a bed. Don't fuck with me. I'll keep you alive, whether you like it or not. That's my advice for the day. Mama Breast. Can we call her Mama Breast, though? I like that better. There's also a culture of see one, do one, teach one. So you have to have that confidence to just get shit done. Exactly. You can't stop. That's the thing I've talked about a little bit in the channel. Like,
Hail Satan, motherfuckers.
I'm gonna pack a bowl. What was I gonna say? There's like, I remember when I was working full time as a respiratory therapist, we'd get new. Beth, how are you, my love? We would get new. By the way, your hair is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I just have to tell you that. I always think about it, and it's weird that I think about your hair all the time, but it's really pretty. So how do I explain this? So basically, when you're a new nurse or a new respiratory therapist, meaning you have your license, you've graduated, you've passed all your boards, you're ready to work, like you're done. What happens is the hospital interviews you and everything, you get the job, and then you basically shadow someone for 6 to 8 weeks. So you don't just immediately get hired into a hospital and get set free on your own, you know what I mean? You sit with another employee for 6 to 8 weeks, and they essentially just babysit you. Really, that's it. We don't normally do this with like, experienced, aged respiratory therapists, but new grads definitely. Just because you got to learn the lay of the hospital. Every hospital has a different charting system, so on and so forth. And what would happen is it's for 68 weeks. Yeah, it's forever. What would happen is the worst part about it that would make me feel like fucking shit is that I'd get these new grads who were smart as fuck. They knew more than I did. Like I don't know how to put that. I'm not like I can't sit there and, I don't know. I feel like there's just different types of intelligence, right? I feel like I'm a very hands-on, tactile, intelligent kind of person. Like, show me how to do something and I'll do it. I'll figure it out just by watching you do it. But I can't read instructions on how to do something and figure it out. You know what I mean? And some of these people that would come through were just painfully intelligent. And I was like, oh my God, these new grads. But then what happens is a code is called. A code means someone has died and we need to run as fast as possible from wherever we are in the hospital to that patient's room and attempt to save them. And what happens is to be a respiratory therapist, you are the code. Like you are the code. You cannot code a patient without a respiratory therapist. Like it's intubation, it's airway, it's everything. And we're the code specialists, I guess. There's usually a code team of like nurses and NPs and stuff in a hospital. But RTs, there's usually many, many RTs in a hospital, and every single RT in the hospital will run to a code at any time. And then once we get there, if there's already people there, then we leave. If there's not, we help, whatever. And what will happen is these new grads would come out, and they'd be smart as fuck. They could just name off all these fucking stats. They knew all the math by heart. They could do everything in their head. And we would get called for a code, and we would run to the patient's room, and I would get to the patient's room, gel up, run in, and immediately start doing compressions or whatever. And my new grad would be in the doorway. While 50 people are shoving past them to get into the room, they just freeze. And there's no getting past that. And it's the worst. It is the I just punched my hand again. Why am I like this? It's the worst fucking moment being a teacher in that time, because that's the moment you know they're not going to make it. They're going to go work on the floors, or they're going to work in outpatient, or they're going to work in a clinic. But no, you can't. How do I put this? You don't get a second chance with a human dying. Does that make sense? And when you can't hire someone who there's a chance they're going to freeze in a doorway and not go save the human being. It's fucking terrible. It's the worst feeling in the world, because they know it, I know it. Like, there's this moment of understanding where I'm in the room coding the patient and I look over and realize they're not with me anymore. They're just standing in the doorway. And we have this moment of realization where they're like, I can't do this. And I'm like, no, you can't do this. It sucks. And I don't know what it is. It's not something learned, like that behavior of just jumping in and doing what you need to do. There's a lot of people who I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to diss. Different intelligence types are good in different scenarios. But there are certain types of people who they just cannot, they need to be told what to do every step of the way. You know what I mean? They need someone there to be like, intubate, I need this size tube, I need this size this, I need this, I need this. And when you're in a code situation, no one is telling you what to do. You are the person telling yourself what to do. You know what I mean? And it's just, that sucks. I hated that. That was probably the worst part of the job, was literally having that sit down like, I don't think you can work inpatient. I'm sorry. Like, I hated it. I fucking hate telling people that. It's the worst. It's a horrible feeling. But like, also, I'm not going to lie to my boss and be like, oh no, they were great, and then have people die because this RT can't run into a room. You know what I mean? Reading a book versus practical application. Thank you. I am very much the practical application. Like, I don't read. I don't learn from reading a book. I learn from hands-on. Like, I still to this day think I didn't learn a fucking thing till I had my hands on a patient. And some people can read a book, remember everything in the book, but they can't apply it. Like, she could tell me, she could look at the patient, probably guess the weight, guess the volumes that I need on the ventilator, guess the pressures just by looking at the patient. That's how smart this girl was. But she can't code. She can't work she couldn't function in a high-stress environment. And that's literally a hospital. It's just high-stress environment. Like, that's it. 24/7, you know? It sucks. Welcome to the reality of your job. Suck it up, buttercup. You want to say that. Seriously, it sucks. I wonder if it can be trained. I honestly think it's a learned behavior from childhood. I think it's just a personality trait that some people have and some people don't. Some people have an ability to just dive in and trust their instinct. It's a lot about just trusting your instinctual knowledge to kick in. You very much go into like autopilot when you're in a situation like that. You're not sitting there thinking about numbers in the book and whatever, and you're not. And that's the thing. Like, a lot of people come out of medical school and they're really, really smart and they know all the math and they have like, you know, what's the word? Like a photographic memory. And they know everything, but they can't apply it. They have no idea how to apply it. Or the moment they're in a stressful situation, it's gone. It just blanks out of their head. It's crazy. I feel very bad for them. Like, I don't know. I work amazingly in stressful situations. I'm like, bring on the chaos. But some people freeze up and it sucks. I think there's something that, you know, we're taught when we're kids to trust our gut instinct or not. And some people just can't. I need that until I've done something enough times, but I don't have a set number that I can be like, yes, I need you to hold my hand for the first 10 times and then I'm good. Well, that's the thing. I'm there in the code the whole time. They're just supposed to come in. They wouldn't even come in the room with me. That's where we get into the problem. That's the point of having someone shadow you, or, you know, that's the point of shadowing another RT for 68 weeks is so that, you know, over the course of 6 to 8 weeks, we assume you will have done X amount of codes, and that the person you're shadowing with will be able to say confidently, like, yes, they can work on their own. They're an independent RT. They can do their own thing, or no. And like, after 8 weeks, if you're still freezing at the door, I don't know what the fuck to do with you. It sucks. It sucks. I smile because I'm uncomfortable about it. It makes me so uncomfortable. I hate telling people they're not good enough. And it's not that you're not good enough. It's just, this isn't the place. Like, ICU is not the place. My sister-in-law is an ICU nurse and has told me about this sort of thing. Oh my God. ICU nurses are angels. I can't visualize, so words are useless to me. Same. She trains mostly now and has said very similar things. Really? Is it a similar situation with nursing? See, I can't speak to it. Like, nursing and RT, we're like fraternal twins. You know what I mean? We look the same. Everybody thinks we're the same thing. Like, everybody thinks I'm a nurse. When I walk into their room, everybody thinks we're the same thing. But we are very, like, uniquely specialized, if that makes sense. Yes, intuitivity, is that a word? Intuitivity? Sounds weird to me. I don't know. Yes, 100%. Yeah. It's like it's weird and it sucks. It's baptism by fire. It's literally sink or swim. And like they know this is coming. That's the part that really hurts is like they go to school for upwards of 9 years. They go to medical school to find out they can't work in an emergency situation, which is literally what RTs do. Like that's what we do. We are life-saving code specialists. And it sucks. Like you don't know until you're in a hospital, and they don't put you in a hospital until you're out of school. They can't trust you. It just sucks. I don't know what they do. You can always work in like a clinic or something like that, but man, dude, if you wanted to work in an ICU, that's got to be heart-wrenching. I know I can do fast-paced, but fast-paced and high stakes, I don't know. I wouldn't know until I got in this situation. Honestly, Izmira, I think you do it because the consequence, like, I thought the same shit. Like, I am not some, like, beaming beacon of, confidence or anything like that, or, like, blind confidence. I am queen of second-guessing myself. I literally am, like, a very strong C student because I second-guess every single fucking thing on a test and fail. I'm a terrible test taker. There's something kicks in your head where your fear of fucking up is overweighed by, I must save that person who's dead. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, how do I explain that? Like, I'm afraid. I'm scared of things, but there's a certain point where, like, your fear just gets put to the wayside because of the situation happening. It's kind of like I imagine it's similar, like, in a car accident, pulling someone out. Like, if you're in a car accident, a violent car accident, and your passenger is knocked out in the side, and you're able to lift up the car and pull him out, even though that car could be ready to blow up, or you've got a broken leg or whatever, like, adrenaline really takes over a lot. It's pretty crazy. They call us the adrenaline junkies in the hospital, the RTs specifically, because it's so fucked up, but a respiratory therapist job. So I worked night shift. So from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m., I would walk the hospital and give everyone albuterol. And then from 10 p.m. until 7 a.m., I sat around waiting for people to die. And then I ran to them and tried to stop that process. That's literally my job. That's it right there. So I don't know, man. It's weird. Yes, it's very much compartmentalizing, deal with it later. It's like, that's part of the reason I don't do it anymore is because there's no time to deal with it later. And you end up getting really fucked up emotionally after a certain amount of time. I started looking around at all the older RTs that I knew, and they're all like divorced 7 times and on every painkiller known to man, and they're fucking miserable people. I mean, every single one of them, 100% of the RTs I worked with who were over the age of 50 looked, sounded, and said out loud, I want to die. All of them. And I looked at that and I was like, I don't want that. It's compassion fatigue, 100% cake, yes. Like, I've said this before to you guys. It's a really weird, like, phenomena, but it's, and again, it doesn't excuse anything, but it's really hard because, like, for a family in room 5 with their 17-year-old dying of a brain cancer, that is the worst thing that could ever happen to them in the world. That is the worst moment in their living, waking lives they will ever fucking experience. Ever. Ever. I have literally watched parents hold their son's hand while he died and said, thank you for being our son. It's but this is the thing. That's happening in room 6 and room 7 and room 8 and room 9 and room 10 and room 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, all the way up until however many beds are in that hospital. And I have to go to every single one of those rooms, sympathize, treat, and compartmentalize, move on to the next room, move on to the next room. And that is going on all night long. And so it's really, like, at the end of the night when you get home, like, you're fine. You give report, you drive home, and then you walk in your front door and you're just like, is there brain in my hair? And suddenly it all comes in. Like, it's really weird. I imagine if you, like, fucking lived in the hospital, maybe it would never happen because you're just constantly in that environment. But the moment you put yourself out of the hospital environment and back into your home environment, it's like your brain, that wall comes down. Your brain relaxes for the first time in 12 hours. And it's just like, remember all those babies you saw die? I'm gonna do drugs now. Cheers. It's horrible. Cheers, y'all. I know I say this all the time, but I'm eternally grateful for all of you keeping me here instead of in the hospital. uh, Fly real. I'm glad I realized in time ambulance work wasn't for me and I chose outpatient support instead. You're lucky you realized that because I think a lot of people, there's a weird, oh God, what's the word? It's like, it's like a martyrdom psychosis that occurs within, I think, a lot of careers, like police officers, firefighters, hospital people, so on and so forth, where you're like, someone's got to do it. And like, I can, so I guess I better keep going, you know? Like, I still to this day deal with guilt from quitting being a respiratory therapist because I was damn good at it. I know I was. Like, I was fucking great at my job. And I helped people and I enjoyed that. But I felt myself fucking dying inside. Like, no one should see that much death in their life before the age of 30. You know what I mean? Every time you illustrate your history with that stress, I keep flashing back on dozens of YouTube videos about near death and out of body experiences. I wish I could have seen something like that in the 13 years. My sister-in-law is gone from doing paramedic work and is now does ER work. Damn. ER is wild, man. Do you think if they rotated nurses and docs around more to less emotionally taxing areas, it would help? You know, they've tried to do that, Cake, and honestly, it's, yes, I think if people, how do I word this? Short answer, yes. If people's brains, how do I say this? So you know how I was talking about like that personality type of just being able to dive into a code situation, even though at your core you're scared to death, you're going to this person's going to die, but you go in anyways and you just do what you need to do, and it's like this core instinct. Like you can't turn that off. Our alert's not working. The fuck? Kelsey, thank you for the resub. Maybe it was really quiet. Hold on, I'll pull up Stream Elements and check. It's like a personality trait, I guess. I don't know how else to put that. This ability to just like dive into horrific situations and, you know, kind of know you're gonna. I don't know how to put that. It's confidence, I guess. You just have like this blind confidence to do it. But what they did, I've seen them do this. So what they'll do is they'll have they'll have doctors work a week in ICU and then a week doing outpatient. So they'll go work like at a pulmonology clinic or something like that. But the problem is that the personality type that's really, really good in an ICU is really, really bad in an office setting. They have no people skills. They have no bedside manner. They're brains. They're literally walking, talking encyclopedias of medical knowledge. But when it comes to like the soft, squishy, like, how are you feeling in a clinical setting, they don't care. And they're so clear. I've watched it. It's horrible. They're so fucking cold. And like when people are dying in the ICU, that cold personality is put up with, dealt with, and we're fine with it because their brains, they can save anyone. Like they're so fucking smart. But you put them in a clinic situation where, you know, a little 65-year-old lady is coming in with her husband to get her like whatever done. And you've got this cold doctor who is just like, name, age, nothing's wrong with you. You're fine. Bye. And you want to talk about it. No, nothing's wrong with you. We have nothing to talk about. Like that's the way they act. Because in an ICU setting, that's true. Like we don't have time, resources, or, you know, you're going to die if we sat there and talked about every little thing going on. We're there to save your life. And that personality carries over. And literally, when I worked in the pulmonology clinic, all the ICU docs, we call them intensivists, all of the intensivists who came to work at the clinic, every single time, the day was just complaints. All day long. If we had a fucking comment box, that bitch would be on fire and overflowing. It was wild. And they do their job just fine, but they have no person skills. They have no people skills. They're just a walking brain. So it's kind of like, I can do both. I enjoyed doing both. I worked clinic and I worked ICU at the same time because I liked that. I liked the balance of like, one week I would be working with people who were critically ill and dying, and the next week it would be. I remember the first day I ever worked in the clinic. My first comment was, "It's so weird to have patients in their street clothes." Like, I had already worked in the ICU for like 8 years, and when I started working in the clinic, I was like, "I can't reach any part of your body because you're like clothed." It was, and they're smiling, and like they laugh and make eye contact with me, which is not the way it is in the ICU in any way, shape, or form. Mostly because they're all like, But yeah, I think it depends on the person. You know what I mean? Whenever I pull for a couple seconds, it turns I have to do little pulls, and I've been smoking for years now. Dude, yesterday I killed myself on a huge hit. Oh my god, no, Beth, ADHD is a gift. I thrive in the chaos. I like to have at least 7 conversations going at one time. Aw, Kinger. Aw, man. And that's another thing, like I was talking about, like, that personality thing, like, something in you is built to work in a chaotic situation like that. Like, I grew up watching people die, so I was like, it was old hat by the time I got into it, and I think a lot of RTs are like that. Like, most of the RTs I worked with were orphans. I know that's really weird. We literally had a no dad club. RTs are weird. They're a different breed. So a nurse told me this one time when I was working at Hopkins. One of my nurse friends told me, what did she say? She's like, every RT I meet has a story. And I was like, the fuck do you mean? She's like, no one becomes an RT at 25. You always become an RT at like 30 something, and something went down beforehand. And I'm like, you know what? You might be coming onto something. I don't know. RTs are different. I don't know what it is. Not in a better way or in a good way, just in a weird way. It's almost like if we didn't run medicine for profit, imagine, we might be able to do things like take people off rotation for codes and provide for their mental health because we could hire enough people to make that possible. We do it in some places. We don't let air traffic controllers get burnt out. Isn't that interesting? It is interesting. It's truly like being a homicide squad, except we probably saw more death than the average agent. Oh, 100%. I mean, people in a hospital see more death than anyone, maybe than, uh, I was gonna say, excluding maybe military people that go overseas, like in war. Like, they probably see more death than we do. I don't know. Maybe equivalent? Who the fuck knows? Hello, Najio. How are you, love? Oh, really? No. Let me make sure our alerts are working. That's weird. They should totally be on. They might have just been really low. I turned them up, but let me make sure. Please just go to my dashboard. Thank you. Do it. Come on. Stream Elements, don't be a douche. Just increase the pizza budget. A pizza party always boosts morale. You know, one year for respiratory therapy month, they gave me a hand sanitizer. That makes me think of House. The clinical stories were always hilarious. Oh, dude, clinical stories are the best. My patient is conscious and it confuses me. I'm not shitting you, Genova. That is such a legit feeling. Yes, sales. Why are you wearing clothes? I'm serious. I wanted to ask it so many times. Because the reason we have you in a gown in the hospital is so I can reach every part of your body very easily at any point. I.e., like if I have to do an interosteo IV in your fucking shin bone, you know what I'm saying? And when you're fully clothed with denim, I just look at you like a problem. I'm like, oh, fuck, if something goes wrong, this is going to be tough. Why are you wearing clothes? It is weird. You just get used to seeing wieners all the time. I knew there was a reason other than weed I related to you so much. I'm not a nurse, but I did witness death in person. Oh my god. When trying to save a man from a car accident. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh. Oh, honey. I take it so for granted. I don't know how to put that, man. I've been watching people die since I was like really young. I watched my dad die when I was 7 in my living room. Just like slowly died. And like I think it's because I'm really young in terms of like my family, like the generations. My mom had me when she was 34 because she had like literally 12 miscarriages. She had a lot of problems getting pregnant. So she had me when she was 34, and so everyone in my family was fairly old by the time I was born. So I've had to watch everyone die. And when I was 7, I legit just sat on the couch and watched my dad die, and it did not touch me. Like, I didn't even cry at his funeral. To this day, I don't. I'm just, like, very casual about it, and I think that prepared me to be an RT because I take it so for granted. When people are like, I watched one person die and it fucked me up, I'm like, really? But I get it. Like, I've been to therapy now, and I understand it should fuck you up because I go to therapy. Therapy is good. Wow. Everyone should go to therapy. Tangent, is your grinder magnetic? Yes. Oh, absolutely. It's the only way to get it because otherwise it busts open. I really wish you had an old hat that says, I watch people die. Dude, for real though. For real. When I worked in the oil business, I would have to work with the crash crew. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. That handle emergencies and the hazmat situations. The only people that last are the ones that stay cold as ice when the refinery was on fire or a guy had a heart attack 70 feet up on scaffolding. Need those people. 100%. I mean, and that's like I was that person and I still suffer guilt, and I think I will suffer guilt the rest of my life that I don't currently work as a respiratory therapist because I can do that and I know a lot of people can't. Eh, But I have to tell myself, like, if I can do it, that means there's a lot of people out there that can do it. Like, I'm not the be all end all. I'm not the best respiratory therapist in the world. Like, there's better. I don't have to suffer that, just out of guilt or something like that. Oh, she went on a car ride? Oh, did she like it? The only people that see more death are the people that actively cause it. Yeah, I bet that's the case. I would assume. I mean, honestly, I don't know. Ooh, theoretically, I've actively caused a lot of death. I don't know. Ugh, Chucky, what's up? In stride, unfazed, something like that? Yeah. Very unfazed by it all. Like, I just kind of, I don't know. I don't know, but I try not to take it for granted because I know that death is not a fun thing for the vast majority of the world, and it really scares. Like, Zach has told me straight up he's never seen someone die before, and that's weird to me because my whole family's medical, and, like, I have 8 siblings, and we all watched my dad die, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it's really weird for me when I meet someone who has straight up never watched an expiration of a human. I'm like, what is that like? I don't know. I honestly don't have a conscious moment in my life where I can remember not knowing what it's like to watch someone die, and that's weird, right? That's weird. Like, I'm the weird one. This is weird. This is weird. I almost went to mortuary school. If they would have had one in Washington, I would have. Not therapy, do I have my initial, oh, fuck yes, AUDHD interview tomorrow with the VA. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. Therapy is expensive, honestly. Like, when you can, do it when you can. You're not homeless anymore? Oh my god, fuck yes. How does it feel? To the bank and Subway, and she liked it? Good. Should is a hard word. It's such a hard word. The guilt is just crazy. I guess it's better if someone has some sort of impact, but it sounds to me anyways like it did for you, just not at the time. Compartmentalizing can be really helpful, but you still have to be able to deal with it with what you're putting into the compartment at some point. Otherwise, it just kills you either actively or passively. Yes. And that's the thing. Like, there is, I mean, no one, I mean, you guys see it. Healthcare workers are dealing with it to this day. The sheer lack of acknowledgement for what they're probably going through. Like, right now, they're kind of getting acknowledgement, at least for the fact that they're not paid for the sheer amount of disgusting hours they work. But, we see, even if you don't see like over an indulgent amount of death, that's a really bad way to say it. You know what I mean? An overabundance of death. You still see. I mean, to be honest, the people that don't die are almost more disturbing and stick in my brain more than the deaths I've seen. Some of the people whose families just keep them alive as like this creepy vegetable for years and years and years and years and years because they can't say goodbye. Those are more scary. And no one, like, there's no support for that. The vast majority of therapists I've ever been to, literally straight up, have never seen someone die themselves. It's hard to find a therapist out there who themselves has experienced death for me to just talk to and have someone to relate to. You know what I mean? I think there's actually a huge movement right now for nurses who don't want to work clinical to actually go into nursing psychology, to be psychologists just for nursing. Because it's, I mean, again, kind of full circle, that martyrdom. It's that martyrdom mentality of like, someone has to do it. And if I can, I might as well. And everyone around you gives you this hero complex a little bit. Like, oh, and I mean, they're just trying to make you, like, they're trying to show appreciation for what you do because a lot of people straight up will say, I can't do that. Thank you so much. Like me with the military. Thank you so much for your service. I could never do it. But you know what I mean? I feel like I'm talking in circles. It's so hard to talk about because I don't want to, I'm trying not to like, no one's less than for not having seen death. Obviously. Hello, babe with the
Power! Wow. What? What up? How are you?
Jesus Christ. I died just then. There's 8 billion. Nobody's unique in their skills. Runs an existential true. Facts, right? And you have to tell yourself that, even though everyone in your life, oh, you were such a good RT. We miss you so much. Blah, 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 blah. Feels damn good. I've got a lot of work to do on the house, but I have a house again, and it's 10 minutes from work. Like a 10-minute drive. Fuck yes, dude. That's so nice. In the summer, you could probably walk. Well, maybe. Which industry? Wait. Which one special? Did I miss it? I might have missed it. I'm sorry if I missed any chat. It's hard. I try. Man, I feel like I'm honestly just making everyone so uncomfortable when I talk about death. So I try so hard not to talk about it as lackadaisically as I feel about it. If that makes sense. Which is why I kind of talk in circles and get a little stuttery, because I'm like, I don't want to make y'all feel like uncomfortable with the fact that I've seen probably tens of thousands of people expire. It's a part, everybody, it's the one thing we all have to do, right? I don't know. I hope you're having a great day. Oh, funeral industry. Oh, no shit. I've read about it. Honestly, I'm really glad I didn't go into it, simply because to me, I wanted to be more of like what I thought was a mortician, but is really a coroner. Because not because I'm like, yay, dead bodies. I've never had a problem with dead bodies. I've grown up around death. And I thought to myself, like, I could do this. I think it's interesting. Human bodies are interesting. Like, why not? It's all about, like, what's the word? Capitalizing on people's grief and making money off that. And I would rather claw my own eyes out with dull spoons. Dull, rusty fucking spoons that have fallen out of Trump's asshole into Mike Pence's mouth and then were vomited into Alex Jones' vagina. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never even conceptualized that part of it. With all the death I grew up around, never. Because my family doesn't buy into the fucking death industry. All my family members are cremated and literally, like, in a box. But again, my family's all medical, so we don't have, like, that fantastical view of burying someone and going and visiting a grave all the time. Every single one of my aunts, they're all nurses, respiratory therapists and shit, and they've all seen death so much that they're like, once you're gone, you know? The corpse isn't you. I'd have to cross a highway. Literally, that's what crossed my mind when I said that out loud, and I was like, okay, no. Nope, just kidding. There's a lot of highways. Now, crime scene cleanup is one job I think really takes balls of steel. I couldn't. The smells alone. The smells. Oh my God. Remember, Katie, death is a part of life. It should be acknowledged and celebrated, as morbid as that sounds. No, I completely agree. And that's how I feel, but I know a lot of people get really, really uncomfortable talking about death. And so I try not to, like, just because I'm ultra comfortable with it doesn't mean I have the right to push that on other people or be like, get over yourself. Like, I don't ever want anyone to feel like that's what that's what I'm saying. Like, fuck you and your feelings, whatever. You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean, Kelty. It's a weird topic to dance around because death is touchy. Death is touchy. In terms of the people keeping others alive, but not alive, vegetables, I think for me it's because the person isn't really in there anymore, or worse, they are. Dude.
Fucking preach. Worst nightmares, Banana. I'm not kidding you.
You've probably heard me say this before, but for anybody new to my channel or anything, and you're like, wow, this is a weird girl talking about medicine. If my patient was in a coma, medical or otherwise, asleep, etc., unconscious in any way, shape, or form, it didn't matter. I always spoke to my patient because worst fucking fear, locked in syndrome. I cannot with that. I will vomit if I think about it too much. It's my worst nightmare. Can you fathom being locked into your body, totally conscious, eyes open? You can hear, you can smell, you can see, you're taking in every sense that's happening around you, every conversation, but you can't move, you can't speak. It's basically like night terrors, right? And no one will talk to you. There's 3 nurses in the room talking across your bed like you're a fucking vegetable. Imagine how that would feel. I don't care if anybody looks at me funny, if everybody's like, dude, they haven't talked in 17 years. I don't care. I will talk to you because worst fucking nightmare is someone is locked in there. And I can't fathom that feeling that no one will acknowledge you as a person. Are you fucking with me right now? That being said, I've had a lot of experience taking care of quadriplegics and shit like that. So I have a lot of experience with people who have similar things, like not necessarily locked in syndrome, but similar issues where they can't speak, they can't move, they can't communicate what they want to communicate to me, etc., etc., etc. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of, it's just, can you even fucking imagine? It takes no effort to talk to your patient. Normally they don't talk back anyways, even if they're conscious, because they don't fucking know what to say. Thanks for the poke. Giggity. Hold on, I'm checking my alerts. It finally loaded. I think the website might be, something might be going on because the Stream Elements website took like fucking 10 minutes to load. I'm going to test a widget. Let's see. I hear it. Do you hear it? Do you hear the music? Did it drop down? Wait, I didn't. Oh, it did. Did you hear it? Okay, cool. Might have just had a hiccup. Might have just been a hiccup. Thank you for the helpings. I never know. I think that's a really scary concept for a lot of people, for me included, and I think talking about it actually helps normalize it. Really? Thank you for saying that, because I feel the same. I don't want to die. I'm fucking terrified to not exist anymore. But the more that people make it taboo and make me not talk about it, the more I get scared of it. I feel talking about it, and it makes it not such a scary concept, because it's happening all the time. It's something we've all got to do eventually. I applied for a job with a company that cleaned up crime scenes. No shit. The carnage didn't bother me, but I couldn't handle a shitty commute. What about the smells? Really? Because smells, man, there are some fucked up smells in human bodies. I realized that with my father in his last moments, he couldn't close his mouth or talk. We were talking to him and noticed a tear go down his face. Oh no. When we were telling him he could pass if he needed to. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard the countless hundreds, if not thousands, of stories of people who were in medical induced comas or otherwise and come out of it and can recite every single conversation had in the room. And no one's talking to them. Like, they're like, and especially with the invasive shit we're doing to people, like with me, if you're intubated, every couple of hours I come in and do something called mouth care, where I move that tube in your mouth. I don't take it out of your lungs, but I move it so you don't get a sore on your lip. I take care of your teeth. I brush your teeth with a little sponge, and I take care of your mouth. So, because your mouth is literally stuck open 24/7. And if you didn't know, meth doesn't kill your teeth. Dry mouth does. Saliva protects the enamel on your teeth. And like a lot of meth heads, they grind their teeth and also just pass out with their mouth open, and it dries out your teeth and makes the enamel break down. So if I was to just leave you with a tube in your mouth and with your mouth open 24/7 for weeks on end, your teeth would literally crumble in your mouth. So I take care of your mouth constantly, and it's so fucking invasive. I'm literally like this, up in your face, like this, moving shit around, putting tape on your face. How can anyone do that and not communicate to the human being they're doing it to? Even if their eyes are closed. How? I've seen it. I don't know. I always chastise them. I'm like, how dare you? But what the fuck? It's so invasive. Oh, Trekkie, my love. We can cheers. Yes, Mom. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. CK streams are how I safely consume death and spoods. Hell yes. It's a safe fucking place. And you guys can always tell me if this conversation is too dark, too deep, or whatever. Because, again, ADHD, I can change this conversation at any fucking point. I could handle the smell. Working in adult care was interesting. Dude, smells. That's one thing that really gets me is smells. I don't know why. Like C. diff really just... When you get fired from the clock factory after all the extra hours you put... I'm just upset about this. Oh, you were in full hazmat suits and respirators. No, that makes so much sense. Fuck, dude. I literally carried around peppermint oil in my like work bag, and I would put a drop in my mask if that something was real bad, because I would be. You're turning me on over here. I'm sorry. You're welcome. Spuds. What's funny is none of my adult spiders have ever projectile shit on me, but every single baby arboreal tarantula I have ever owned, the moment it crawls out of its vial, it crawls across my hand and leaves a little poop. I have been christened by so many spiders. I need to put another Band-Aid on because my Band-Aid's coming off. Damn it. I've been christened by many a baby spood. You and Kermit. Oh my god, you're right though. Wait. You're right. uh, Ike Wolf, make sure to gargle salt water or like lemon. Put lemon in your tea. That helps with the inflammation of your mucous membrane. Seriously, it sounds like hippie remedies. I swear to fuck, it works. You're right, though. I can't get over that. That's funny. I ran out of cigarettes. I'm stuck working. I'm having someone deliver some, but the withdrawal currently sucks. Oh, that sucks. I mean, you got to plan ahead, B. This is your punishment. Nuh-uh. In your face? Was it trying to run away, or did it literally like grab its food and shit at you? Because that's hilarious. Yeah, so for those that don't know, these are all tarantulas, all these like enclosures behind me. Most of them. There's a few geckos and a few outliers, but most of them are tarantulas. And arboreal tarantulas don't have a defense mechanism. No tarantula really does. There's no such thing as a deadly tarantula to human beings in the world. So that's first fact. There you go. But some tarantulas can like, kick their hairs. Ow, my hand. Kick their hairs off their butt into the air, and it's kind of like getting like insulation in your eyes. It chases you away, whatever. But most arboreal tarantulas, literally, their defense mechanism is to projectile poop and in your direction. It's sure. Sister and I were in the hospital for almost 3 days waiting for my dad to pass. Oh God, he'd had a fall and blood clot that crushed their brainstem after surgery. He lingered on after they took the machines off. Everything about those hours live in my brain kind of sucks. I'm sorry. I have moments like that too. I mean, honestly, it's never about like the death. It's always about the like. I have regrets about when they were alive. Like did I do enough with them? Stuff like that. Lots of lemon, good. I love lemon too. I'm a big fan. I do it because my throat gets rough just from talking all day. Lemon in my tea is a big thing I do at nighttime. It grabbed its food, turned around, and shot me on the cheek. Did you take a picture? Because I totally would have. That's so great. You were shat upon. That's funny. David, good morning. How are you? Oh, God. I'm just giving you a hard time, Najeel. That's me with weed. I totally get it. When your birds are chilling on you and you get shit on. Wait, do they do that regularly? I assumed if they were your pet, they would eventually learn to, like, hop to their somewhere else to shit and not just, like, shat upon you. Or do birds just not know when it's happening? We had, like, a cockatoo when I was a kid. It was a mean bird. I didn't like it. It's too cocky. Shut up. We should hydrate. Thank you. Hydrate before you die straight, motherfuckers. Lands on you, preens, shits, takes off. Really? Okay. You're concerned about? They just shit when they just kind of shit? Okay. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense because they shit when they're flying in the air. Like, that's pretty wild, right? It's not like dogs, like, circle and find a special place and have to push. Like, it just fucking, like falls out. Kelty, thank you for gifting a sub to Ismira. Ismira, use a butt wizard of the highest order. Go forth and be consensual in all the ways and enjoy your emotes, and I appreciate you. Thank you, Kelty. Or Missy. They do make harnesses for birds that have a scoop that goes over the back end of them. Shut up, like a little diaper. Like a bird diaper? Oh, that's hilarious. Humans shit when we're flying, too. I've never shit in an airplane. What's that like? My hedgehog's worse because they poop while they run and walk. No, oh. See, I've never had a hedgehog. The only rodents I've had rats and bunnies. I've lived with other rodents, but they weren't my pets. And rats and bunnies, like, choose a very special place in the cage where they'll shit, and they'll shit in that place forever. Like, you can move everything around in the cage. You can put things in that corner, and they'll shit on the thing. Like, they choose a place, and that will be their poo corner for the rest of their life. It's quite convenient and very weird. Thinking about how Jesus... Wait. Thinking about how Jesus died for our sins and how I spend my entire life wasting his sacrifice by not sinning. Oh my God, David, I'm not even shitting you. The other day, literally, I think this was 2 days ago, I looked Zach in the eye and I was like, Jesus died for nothing if you don't sin. Get out of my head. It's a scary place. You don't want to be there. It's a diaper. What else do you call it? My mom did cloth diapers. My mom was major hippie. Like, every minute I spend not doing sodomy is just me wasting all the free sinning, right? How dare you? Poor Jesus. It's cool because no one can hear you. When? Like, right now? I would hope they can. I mean, what are you guys doing? Just reading lips? You're very talented. Shut up. There's someone on TikTok who keeps a chicken in their house. So my mom had a patient way back in the day who was housebound due to, obesity. You know, that level of obesity where you can't get out of your bed anymore. And they lived with a group of ducks and one other animal that I cannot remember in a trailer. And the ducks didn't go outside. Like, the ducks and this person and one other animal lived in a trailer together, and my mom would have to go up to his house every once in a while and give him oxygen. No. Oh, no one can hear you. Oh my God, you're right, though. I totally forgot about the shitting on an airplane. You're right, though. I would always feel like there'd be a line outside the door and I wouldn't be able to shit. More sodomy immediately. Uncomfy mostly. Airplane bathrooms are so tiny. I don't fit in any bathroom. I'm so fucking big. I've never stood on a moving plane, let alone I just cram myself into the window seat and hope to pass out till we land. Genova, I'm not even kidding you. I've borderline given myself a UTI just not to stand up on an airplane. I feel your sentiment so hard. Just to not disturb who was ever, like, in the way of me getting out of my lane. I just sat there and was like, you don't have to pee. You don't have to pee. You don't have to pee. You don't have to pee! And then when I got off the plane, I was like, ouch! I have to pee! It was bad. You may not have pooped on a plane, but I've never been on one. Wait, you've never been on an airplane? By choice? Dude, my first airplane was before I can even remember. I've been flying for a long time. One of my favorite streams on Twitch is just a bird farm. Dude, one of my favorite streams on Twitch is just kittens. I totally get you. I also follow one that's chickens. We might follow the same account. Is it a lady, like, in her chicken house, and she just feeds her chickens and talks to them on stream? Because I follow a chick who just has a chicken house. Like, I'm all about it. I love animals. I don't live in a place where I can have chickens or anything like that, and so I just live vicariously through the internet, and I love them. I love budgies so much. They have the cutest face, but I'm sad they poop on you. Why can you always keep why can you always keep in your pee right up until you put the key in the door? I don't know, David. I've thought about that so many times. Like, literally, you're in the car and you're like, I kind of have to pee, but, like, it's not an emergency, like, nothing, like, you're looking for a gas station or something. And you get home, put your key in the door, walk inside, and the moment you, like, imagine you're conscious that the bathroom is a few steps away, I start to do the pee dance. Like, I start, like, going like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm gonna pee my pants! Out of like, why? Why am I doing the pee-pee dance at 34? Bodies are weird. Bodies are real weird. Yep. I parkour around them stepping over them on the armrest if they're not in use. Okay, I was gonna say. I love pygmy goats. You were fine for 6 hours and then suddenly your body's like, it's time to piss. I agree. Wait. Sorry, who? Nope.
Show me where you pissed from. Show me where you pissed from.
I have so many weird sound bites at this point.
Allow yourself. Did you take your...
Sorry, who's Yep.
Calm the bitch down.
Hi, gay. Yeah, we were in the bed.
That's all the gays. I don't remember what's on what.
Is it depression? Is it anxiety? Do I have ADHD? Am I just lazy? Am I burned out? What the fuck is wrong with me?
I don't know. Nope.
Penetrate that.
Yeah. Those are my... It's all over the place right now, man. I don't even know. The pee-pee dance helps you not piss your pants. I don't care what anyone says. I swear to fuck, there's something about it that it does. Because my body can't not do it if I'm at that point of explosion. What happened to me in elementary school, I was fine the whole bus ride home when walking to the house. I had to pee so bad, made it to the front door, but not in the house. You know, I made my sister pee her pants one time as a kid, and I've never stopped feeling bad about it. Because literally, we were coming home from school, and she was like, I have to pee. And I was like, I have to pee. So I went to the bathroom, locked the door, and then I came out of the bathroom, stood in front of the door, and I don't even know what I did, but I was doing something that made her laugh so hard. She just pissed herself in front of me. And I was like, I am so sorry. She still hates me for that one. Absolutely, Brilla. Fuck yes, please. Is it break time, Bubba? Is it break time? I know. I know. Is it time, Bubba? This is my boy Trick. You're so beautiful. My beautiful boy. My beautiful girl. You're so beautiful, too. You're so beautiful. Yeah. It's snowing outside and they fucking love the snow. I did a mini marathon and made it all the way to the bathroom, but the lid was down. Oh my God. Isn't it funny? Like, theoretically, you totally should have been able to make it another second, but your body said no. What a fucking troll move. That's just cruel. Oh my God, the sneezing, the sneeze peas. Oh yeah, those are the best. I love those. Hold on, I gotta pull up this image. I know, Bubba. What? What? I know. Wanna go outside? Is that what's up? We'll go outside. Oh, okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ah, chaos. Ah, tear mom's fucking earbuds out. Yay. Unplug them. Woo. You guys are the best. Fucking dogs. Does anybody want a poodle? Thank you, Barilla. I fucking love goats. I'm so about goats. Okay. What the fuck? If only. What? That's amazing. Right. When the body rejects your will, there's no fighting back. Which one? This one's pretty weird. She burps and farts a lot, but she's a real good little spoon. Do you like big spooning? Because Lil is down for that. All right, I gotta move screens around, then we'll take break. Then I'll take my cute little pups out. And then we're gonna, oh my gosh, if you weren't around yesterday, we started a new game because, I guess, so I have over 300 unplayed, untouched games in my Steam library, and this year I'd like to put at least a dent in that. And so we started that yesterday. And because my hand is effed in the A, we started a point-and-click game called is it Rusty Lake Roots? Yeah? I don't know. Apparently it's like a little mini, not a series, but a little franchise called Rusty Lake or something like that. Take the weird one. Perfect. I'll take the big spooning. I love big spooning, and Lilith literally is the perfect little spoon. She's great. What up, Mickey? How are you? Just gotta put another Band-Aid on because it's... Oh, I just don't want it to expose itself to anything. That's it. Boo. There is a collection. Okay, Spuds, that's what I thought. I've never played them before, and it's fucking weird / hilarious. I like it when the red water comes. Rusty spoons. What is that? Load. Oh my God, wait. Okay, hold on. Cold outside. Jesus H. Oh, welcome. Do you like, I found some new songs. I've been playing them. Do you guys like them? I've been forcing myself to put on playlists while I'm in the shower, and then I can't change them. So I'm forced to listen to new music. Ow. I crushed my nail in the door today. Ow. Look how far down. I don't know if you can tell. It's like white and dead halfway down now. I fucking crushed it like a bitch. Oh. Oh. Yeah, it does feel like some Toros in the atmosphere. I'm trying so... Oh my God, the goats. I'm following this channel immediately. Thank you, Brilla. I love goats. There must be some Katies in the atmosphere. I said burr. Ah! I got a knot. Oh my... Why does that hurt so much? It's the weirdest, like, deep, weird bone ache in my pinky knuckle when I do that. It's, like, not a stinging pain. It's not from the cut. It's, oh, God, it's the weirdest. Why? I'm such a clapper. I've heard that's a millennial thing. Like, a lot of millennial music has clapping in it, and we just like to clap. I don't know. I'm gonna have to put her in boob jail again. No, it's totally fine. No, don't. It's me. I know better. Oh my God. I have a bowl, Senior Moose. I'm fucking ready. What did I grind up today? I'm smoking lilac diesel. Of course I am. Wait, no, I'm not. I emptied this one. It's the Sweet Grease by Tickle. Or T-Cal if you want to be boring, I guess. It says, oh my god, that hurts. So why am I like this? Sweet Grease, total THC 26.5% allegedly. And that's all I got. Oh, it's a hybrid. Allegedly. That's it. Wow, they really didn't give much information on this one, huh? I'm shaking. Oh my god. I gotta stop hitting that fucking hand, my dudes. That's fine. Peach, thank you so much for subbing the class, keeping the classy alive and giving it a swing. Sorry, I'm just in some whiteout pain right now. It's fine. That made me sweat. I clap a lot. After DJing while millennials were in college, we love our audience participation. Is it a thing? Is it really? I've read that in multiple things about like music, just music theory and stuff. And that there was like an era, we should cheers. There was an era of music that, I mean, I think it's still going on, where there's clapping in almost every song. And like groups of people singing together, kind of like children's music, but it's not children's music. And it's apparently a millennial thing. It's really dangerous when I'm driving because I love to clap along to the songs and I drive a stick. Oh, my hand is so tingly right now. Why do I do this? We should play a game. Wait, what did you do without weed? What did you do? Distract me. Let's cheers. Yeah. And then we'll cheers for 422. Don't worry about it. And 22. Whatever. Cheers. Maybe that's it, Sagar. Did it come from that? Because I remember that. Wait, is it your birthday today? I was so confused. I was like, wait, are you not like what? I just hit my hand and I am not thinking straight. I apologize. Is it your birthday? I'd love to sing you happy birthday instead of think about this. It was the 16th. What is today? Did I miss? Oh my god, I missed it by like 9. Happy birthday, happy. I can't clap. Happy birthday. That was your day to have a lot of fun. We were waiting for the celebrating. That was your day. So happy birthday to you. Ooh. Does anyone else snap with a ring finger? I've been told that's weird. I'm never doing dishes again. I tried to do this yesterday. It doesn't quite work because of the leggings. Got a 97% THC content on our diamonds from the lab. Holy shit. Oh my god, how much do you have to smoke? How much do you smoke at a time to get like fucking rocked? Most people do. I can, but it's not good. I don't know why I do with my middle finger, my ring finger. I don't even think I was taught. But both hands, I've always snapped with my middle finger, or my ring finger. And when people see me do it, they're like, what the fuck is that? You can, wait, you can snap with your pinky? How? I can almost get that one. I don't know. Weird. Thank you. I'm sorry, I just clapped and fucking just whited out my hand. Happy fucking birthday. Oh. If I didn't meet you in Eliza, I'd still be lost, literally. If I didn't have Twitch, I'd be lost. So many of you guys have made such a fucking huge difference in my life. It's true. The ring under the middle? What do you mean? I feel very stupid. That hurts my hand. I was trying to do it with that hand. I can kind of... Oh, there. Owie. I'm going to stop now. I'm not even going to try my pinky. Really? I've never... That is hard for me. I don't know why. Maybe that's why. Maybe I have fucked up hands. Index finger is actually the hardest, I think. How do you snap with your index? Like this? Literally, you can do that and have it snap on your palm. That's talent. I can't do that. Maybe my fingers are too... I don't know. They're crooked. They're a little crooked. I use a little micro nectar collector, and a couple little bumps of the nail are enough for me, dude. That's intense. I can't even fathom. That would rock my world. I actually got some pretty strong. Hold on. I don't know. Which strain was it? This is one of the highest strains I've seen just locally. It's called Lemonhead Delight by some brand called Free World. I don't know. The packaging's cute. It looks like a head shop from like the 90s. But the THC content's 30.8, and one hit of this, and I kind of like hard. It's strong. Ow. No need for palm. Wait. That hand. What is snapping if you're not touching your palm? What do you... Stop it. You're fucking with me now. You're fucking with me, right? What is making the sound? What's making the sound? Stop. Aren't crooked fingers what you want as a piano player? Yeah. And I think they become more like you can... It's this finger's like curved from doing that. I think it like makes your hands more crooked the more you play piano. These become bent. Yeah. Yeah. I've been told many times I have piano hands. I don't know what that means. I played piano, but I don't think you get a certain type of hand from playing piano, except other than the spread. But I don't have that much of a spread. I still can't palm a basketball. Yeah, the friction. You're going to have to show me, because I'm honestly... I don't know. I don't know how to do that. Just beginning to feel normal as a neurodivergent queer person. Just saying. I've done a shitload of work, but still. Dude, I think it's honestly, we work the rest of our life, but the fact that you... How do you word that? Not that you have something to work on, but that you acknowledge it and you work on it makes it better to deal with. Easier to deal with, I guess? I don't know. Does that make sense? I'm trying to move screens around so we can play this game. This game is so fucking cool, my dudes. If you weren't around yesterday, it's so weird. How would we sum up what we've done so far? I don't know how to explain this game. It's a point and click puzzly type game. How do you describe this game? I don't know what to say about this game. Rusty Lake is really weird, but I really like it. Like, I don't know why I was very excited to play today. It's weird. I know why. It's fun, but it's weird. Like, I don't have an explanation as to why I'm so into it. It kind of reminds me of, like, Fran Bow or something like that, you know? Kind of just a weird, like... Someone clipped me yesterday playing the game. Hold on. I tweeted it. It's a great clip. It's a good example. Yeah, weird and intriguing and a bit disturbing. I don't know what's going on. James died. That's all I've got. James died. Hold on. Where's my shit? There it is. Found it. This one. I know, now my finger's sore from snapping too much. Like, I don't want to snap anymore. Same. My palm's kind of feeling a little abused. Most of the sounds from the fingers. Maybe that's because you snap with a different finger. I don't know. I might have broken hands. I know I have this. Wait. Ugh. It's so hard when my other hand's delicate. I have, like, no, like, feasible joint in that finger. That sucks. I can't play string instruments. Mickey's mom bought me the Chronicles of Alice series. Oh, wait. Is that the, like, Alice, oh, God, what's the author? Is that the ones that I've read and I've talked about? Alice, I think the next one's called Hatcher or something. Christina Henry. Oh my God. Yes. Oh my God. Cake. Oh my God. They're so good. Oh, Cake. Whoa. I'm so excited for you. My sister and I, they're really quick reads. Like, they're pretty, I mean, if you have them, you know. They're pretty small books. They're really quick reads. But damn, they're so good. It's easily, I mean, and I'm a huge fan of, like, Red Queen and Looking Glass. Thank you. Thank you. Hatcher's a character. I apologize. I don't want to spoil anything. Like I love American McGee's Alice. American McGee's Alice was like my introduction into like, fairy tales can be dark and spooky and gothy and stuff, and I love that shit. But those books are my favorite unique rendition of the Alice in Wonderland like world. Without say, like it just based on the titles. We know what they're about, but it's so unique. Seriously, it's not like anything. It's not like any Alice in Wonderland iteration you have ever read ever in your life, and I can swear on that one. It's wild. Introduction, have you met Europeans? I have, actually. Once or twice. I've met a few. Don't make me laugh while I'm drinking water. We missed 420 as usual. Happy 426. And we'll play this game. I'm trying to move chat over here so I can see you guys. Chat. Move. Move, bitch. Get out the way. It's so weird moving you guys over here. Like, learning to look here instead of... It's just bizarre. My brain gets broken a little. Okay, so this game is called Rusty Lake Roots, and it's a horror... I don't know. I have a clip of it for you. That's all I know. That's all I got. Where did I do with it? What did I do with it? Are you kidding me, Katie? Why am I like this? Did I fucking lose it? No, I got it. Oh my god. Please just ignore me. Sometimes being a live content creator sucks, because if I was on YouTube, I could edit all this dumb out, and you guys would think I'm like this super eloquent, smart person. Damn it. Doesn't do anything. It's a point and click that makes me screech, I guess. It makes me giggle. I don't know. It's just like there's been stuff that actually pops out and is scary. Our fairy tales are scary as fuck. Well, that's the thing. Like, I grew up with like Mother Goose and shit, so I had to expose myself to the scary fairy tales. You know what I mean? All right. Cheers. Let me change our category into Rusty Lick. Rusty Lick. Oh, we're still in it. Sick. Just kidding. Cheers. Lil got me right on my nose, and I feel like I have a shittily placed bindi. Rusty Leg does. I feel like you could put Rusty in front of anything, and it would be a bluegrass band. We're the Rusty Catfish Tree Band. I don't know. I got nothing. See, Nemo, I was just repacking to hit another, because we missed 420 as per the usual. But whatever, who cares? Cheers. Honestly, this game, it's so weird. I don't know. I'm just going to start it. I don't know how to, I don't know. I have no idea how to summarize it in any way, shape, or form. It's just weird and I enjoy it. So, I had to pee so bad. I feel like I lost 5 pounds. That was amazing. Did I hit 420? Fuck, 422. God damn it. It's because my faucet takes so long to get warm water. I just have to wash my hands in hot water. I can't stand it. Brr. Cheers, everybody. It's 422. That's not good, right? Cheers. I know a lot of people like that. Honestly, I don't think a lot of us, like a lot of our parents did not have the feasible means to pay for good dental when we were kids. I was really lucky. Like, honestly, the only reason I had good dental when I was a kid was because a horse stepped on my face. So my dental turned into, like, medical insurance. Sorry, let me turn the music down. You know what I mean? Because I got, like, fucking plastic surgery and shit like that. And so it went over into medical insurance. That's the only reason I had good dental care, because half of it came out of that insurance instead. Otherwise, I don't know how any parent pays for their kids. Like, braces and shit are expensive. Fuck. Cheers, Lorelai. Dude, banana, same. Honestly, like, I woke up this morning feeling crazy refreshed, but I literally woke up at like 8:50, which is insane. Even on my day off, I wake up at 6 in the morning naturally. I normally set my alarm a little bit earlier so I can go run or something. And I just died. I don't know. I went into literally like a coma, and I think my body kind of needed it. I don't know what it was. I might have exhausted myself. After stream yesterday, I cleaned the house a little bit, and then I made carne asada for the first time from scratch. It was really good because it's Taco Tuesday. And Zach was like, we can get tacos. I was like, I can make carne asada. Like, I've never done that before. Let's try that. So I marinated some flank steak and cut it up, and I cooked it phenomenal. Like, I could not stop just picking at it and eating it with my fingers. I was so proud of myself. I'm not a huge meat eater, so I don't cook it a lot. And usually, when you don't do something a lot, you're not great at it. And it was really good. I was very, very proud of myself. I was just like, it was fucking good. And I made my own quick pickle. I did pickled red onions and pickled radishes and pickled jalapenos. I really went extra. So I maybe exhausted myself a little bit. Maybe a little bit. But I slept through so many. I have like 4 alarms that go off. I slept through all of them, and I apologize. That's on me. But I do feel like maybe my body needed it for some reason. I was done. I don't sleep through shit like that. I'm a pretty light sleeper in the morning, and I just, done. Thank you. I did it real quick because I was late this morning. My mascara is like on my eye right there. I tried to do I don't know. I feel like most of the time it's real hard to sit down for an extended period of time in the morning because the dogs are so high energy first thing in the morning. I usually take them out and try to wear them out, and I go run and shit. So I usually don't have time to sit down and do like really extensive makeup looks anymore, which kind of sucks, but oh well. Thank you. My dip in the salsa dip. Yeah, absolutely. Happy 426, Viata. Hold on. Do I still have another hit in here? Probably. I'm grateful for being able to tell people I have dentures without judgment. It sucks that I want to hide that fact. Well, I remember when I was a kid, there was a stigma against just like, if you had to go to the dentist and get a filling, kids would be like, ew, you're gross. And like someone like me, I don't know what it is. My dentist and my doctor has told me it's a mixture of having bad teeth, just like soft teeth, and the pH of your saliva makes it so it doesn't necessarily protect your enamel as much as other people's. So like I have a lot of fillings, and I have like 2 root canals. A lot of it's from the horse thing, but I have a lot of dental work done. My mouth is very expensive. My little sister Sarah, 100% siblings, same parents. Perfect teeth. I think she has 1 filling, and it's like an itty bitty tiny little like preventative filling kind of thing, 1 in her whole life. And it's just like, I don't get it. It's not fair. It doesn't make any sense. Happy Burns Day. I was just about to cheers with Viata. We can cheers to that. I think I have a hit. If not, I'll put more on. Don't worry. You know what I can do? Actually, Viata, I'm going to keep it up a little bit. It's kind of a sad hit. You deserve better. My mom, that's my mom's told me the same. My mom has really soft teeth, and apparently my dad had really nice teeth. Like, no tooth problems at all. Nothing. He, like, had incredible dental whatever. Yeah, let's keep it up. I'm hitting my Kiefer Smokerland. There's probably a lot of keef in that, though. We'll empty it later. Yeah, my mom said my dad had really good teeth, but my mom's like me, like you, soft teeth. Just like, because of being stepped on by a horse, ever since, like, having to basically, like, the way it plays in my mind, I don't know how like, memories are weird, and the way you exaggerate shit when you're a kid. It felt like to me I was literally in the dentist's office at least once a week for like the better part of 10 years of my life. And I fucking hated it. I hated going to the dentist all the time. It was literally like once a week on my lunch break at school, I had to walk to the dentist's office. And so I'm kind of neurotic about my teeth, my dental care at this point. Like, I don't want to have to go to the dentist for anything but a cleaning. Like, get the fuck out of my life. It sucks. Absolutely. No, I totally get that. Honestly, the community, I don't like saying my community, but like the community, this community, the holes, the class holes, Twitch, whatever you want to call it, knows more about me and has genuinely asked more about me and been more genuinely interested in me than anyone else in my entire life. Ever. I don't know. It's weird. It's kind of a very unique, amazing forum where you can be open about yourself without judgment, as long as the streamer doesn't allow that shit. And myself and my mods do not allow that shit. Vissy, my love, how are you? Wait, what is the what's the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? The bird or what I just did in my throat? I really like swallows, but you know. Yada. Well, it's such a group. It's such like I talk to Zach about this sometimes because like we both anytime either of us has like a weird like a bad person in chat, you know, someone that comes in and does gross shit, we have to ban them and whatever. We both talk about it, and I was talking about this like a couple weeks ago because we had someone come in being a shithead. And I was like, it's kind of crazy. Like, I feel like I don't really, this doesn't really attract that as much anymore. Because I think when people come in and they like click a channel with the intent of coming in and saying like icky shit or something like that, and they see the way chat's going and how fiercely like good y'all are. I don't know how to put that. Like, you're like ferociously protective of being good, like what how do you say that? You know what I mean? Like, it's not apparent what we believe in and stand for. Like, we are all fucking gay all the time. Like, please, like, trans rights, Black Lives Matter, all the fucking time. Those are constantly topics we're bringing up. And, like, it's not just me and the mods. Like, the community is so fiercely protective of having a safe space where we can talk about shit like this and not have grotesque people come in and saying, like, racist whatever or trans slurs or what, hate speech in general. It's like, I think it chases a lot of that bullshit away. Just like you guys, like the whole of it, I guess. That sounds corny, but you know what I mean. Let's cheers. I just keefed up my bowl with my kefir smokerland. So, yeah, let's do that. I know, Will, but I was really trying to give you a good quote. I was trying to give you a good answer. I was trying. That's the only way I can troll back on that shit. Cheers. Exactly what Ike Wolf said. That's so perfectly well done. I know, Will. I tried, but I mean, you deserve better than that. We outnumber the shitheads pretty easily. If they show up here and act gross, they're the ones who end up feeling ridiculed because everyone here is pretty united against that bigotry and bullshit. It literally, not one person in my chat would buy into it. Or like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all are like, nah. Like, we don't, it's just beautiful. It's like a self-sustaining kind of thing where I don't feel like my mods and myself, at least most of the time, it's not like babysitting, you know, it's not like we're constantly like, oh, there's gonna be shitty people in chat, like we constantly have to watch out for this shit. It's so fucking rare these days, and it's really rare in Discord and stuff too, and I think that's like part of the greater whole, because just myself being, like, honestly, if only the streamer is gay and pro-trans rights and pro-Black Lives Matter and so on and so forth, that actually makes you more of a target. But if your entire community is so fiercely, like, not willing to put up with the bullshit, I think it really just deters them before they're, because it's not fun for them, I don't think, at that point. I don't know. Sometimes they're stupid and they just say shit before they even come into chat and see anything, but you know what I mean? Oh my god, you're right. Thank you. I had to wipe my desk down. One of the dogs on my break knocked my fan over, and it, like, I don't know what it did. It dislodged all the dust that was, like, on the fan blades and blew it up and just all over my desk when I was on break. So I had to move everything and wipe it off. Thank you for reminding me. I wiped this off, but I want to check it again. Hold on. Thank you. No, because I still have, honestly, Vissy, I don't go through them. I still have 2 filters. Like, I just don't go through them. This is my 3rd since you left. And I mean, it's still like this. It looks gross, but really, guys, you'll know when they'll block. They just don't pull anymore when they're dirty. They look black, like they're disgusting. But for real, I know that's true. I want to subscribe to them. Honestly, like I wiped myself out for Christmas, so I'm just like a broke joke right now. But I will eventually. Eventually. I love trolling the trolls, especially creepers coming into women's streams. I love to troll a troll. And that's the sad part is like, there's no good trolls anymore. I think we modded them all. Also, people coming in here trolling are gonna get trolled even harder back. Thank you. I'm saying, like, a good troll. I love to troll, my friends. A good troll finds home in my stream. I welcome you. Like, I love myself a good fucking stupid punny joke or a meme that is dumb funny or a gross whatever. Like, I live for that stuff. A good troll is gonna find a home here. That's the problem. Like these fetuses going about with their racial slurs they learned today on the Mari show. I'm just like, I can't with that. I don't got time. Thank you. Yeah, I said everything over there. Thank you for saying that. It really does make a huge difference. Well, Johnny, and that's the thing. Most of the time when someone really comes in and starts saying icky shit like that, they're not looking at chat. They're not listening to stream. They're just copy and pasting words they found online that like on Reddit that they think are funny. I don't think they're even like, it's not a participatory thing anymore. But I let my I mean, honestly, that's why I've said it for years. I let my mods play with their food. Like if someone's dumb enough to come in here and make an anti-trans joke, anti-LGBTQ+, anti-whatever hate speech joke, you don't get a second chance because it's not funny. And if you thought it was funny the first time, like, chances are our senses of humor ain't gonna exactly get along. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time. Life is fucking short. Exactly. My legs are so cold. I'm trying to point this little heater at my shin. Exactly. It's just freezing outside. I'm freezing. Brr. There aren't, right, Will? Exactly. Dude, for real. It's just, I mean, even the bots, like, it's just a code that, like, spams an ugly word over and over, something like that. I don't know. Not into it. I ain't got time. We don't need hate here. At all. You do a great job at cultivating that. Thank you. I really try. I really do. That's one of the few things I really do put effort into. I feel like a lot of people come here because they feel safe to be themselves, safe to chat, etc. It's welcoming and friendly and free of bullshit. Assholes get kicked out. You preserve the quality of the people here by making sure shitty ones aren't allowed to disrupt people's feelings of safety. Well, if that didn't just poke my heart penis. Thank you. I don't know what to say. That's just thank you. That's the shit right there. Hold up. Where's my jar? What was the sound it made? Tunk! My heart jizzed. I honestly, those are the things I strive for so hard. And most of the time, it's pretty darn easy. Once, maybe thrice in my entire streaming career ever, if you call it a career, my entire streaming life, whatever you want to call it, maybe thrice, have myself and my mods had to come together and be like, we have a problem. And we've actually, like, it's been tumultuous. You know, it's been, like, a questionable, like, fuck, dude, what do we do? But outside of that, it's been a fucking glorious experience. And I would never take it back or give it back or whatever you want to say. Ever, ever. Ever, 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 ever. Like, honestly, just talking. I remember, I see memes about this now. Back before memes were a thing when I first started streaming, when, like, we were just getting emoticons. Dude, look at the size of this bud. They're fucking huge. My God. I remember I would just sit here and we'd just be bullshitting, like playing Outlast or Skyrim or something, and I just tell a story. Like, just a story from my childhood that I think is funny. And almost the entire chat, like, I could feel the silence in the room, the proverbial silence. The entire chat would just stop moving. You know, the entire chat, however many it was, maybe 20 of us. Who cares? The 3 people stopped talking and would just be like, wait, Katie, you're laughing. That's, like, hella fucked up. Are you okay? And there have been like, the only reason I'm in therapy is because of y'all. Not because of those, but I literally had my breakdowns on stream, and you guys really helped me get through those. Fucking
Hail Satan, bitch.
But for real, like, I've come to a lot of very personal, introspective realizations that and I think a lot of people do this. I'm not special or unique in this, but I have the habit of making excuses for horrific behavior for people I love. I like lie for them and bend the truth to make them look better than they really are, because it's easier to manage other people's emotions and the way people view people around me than it is to try to figure out my own complicated bullshit going on the inside, which is super fucked up. But had you guys not been like, hey, Katie, it's not normal for your brother to chase you around with a cleaver in the house because you didn't make a sandwich perfectly, I maybe would have never gone to a therapist and told them that and, really ever thought anything of it. I thought everybody had siblings that did these kinds of things. Know what I'm saying? So I'm equally, if not, like, just fucking so thankful. This was just a social, this streaming, man. I went to Walmart at midnight, bought a webcam to make friends to make ESO, and here we are. It's weird. That weed smells good. Yeah. Fucking A. Hella fucked up and Katie go hand in hand, but that's what makes this community work. And I mean, and that's agreed. I feel like I didn't do this on purpose, but sharing some of my kind of fucked up childhood stories has helped people in our community feel comfortable sharing theirs. And I think part of, like, not normalizing, but the realization that, when we're alone at night in bed and the whole place, everything's quiet and you're literally alone, your head can get in a really dark place where you start to think, like, I'm the only one that's suffering this much. I'm super depressed right now. Everyone else seems to be functioning just fine. What the fuck is wrong with me? What happened? Da 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 da. But when you actually have people who can, honest to God, like, just pour their heart out and welcome your pour out right back, it helps you kind of, like, it doesn't make anything go away. Like, trauma's forever. We all fucking know that. But it kind of helps you metabolize it, maybe, is a word. I don't know a word for it. I am not a psychologist by any means. But, like, maybe chew it up and just, like, not... I don't know. What would be the word for that? Metabolize is the only thing I can come up with. Masticate it up? I don't know. It helps me, honestly. I love talking to you guys about stuff. Even the hard stuff. Like, love it. You know what I mean? It's nice to have people to relate to. Process. Yeah. Process is a really, really good word for it. Absolutely. It's like when you don't have that verbal discourse about really horrible things that, like, are just up until that point that you do have verbal discourse, all they are is emotions. And I've read papers and papers on trauma and how every time in your life that the trauma that has happened to you that actually affected you in the traumatic way, when it's brought up again or things similar to that action happen to you again, your emotional response is identical, if not exacerbated, to what happened, to the emotional response you had when the actual trauma happened, because your body goes into, like, a protection mode. It learns that trauma was a T-Rex that's going to eat your face. You know what I mean? It's fucking wild what your brain can do to protect you in a way, but also in order to, like, go on as a human and realize there's not T-Rexes everywhere and the world isn't just big and full of monsters 24/7. Like, I think processing it is important. The realization that you aren't the only one that's fucked up life is a freeing experience. Yes, very much so. Especially, like, I feel like a lot of us that grew up in very small towns are very isolated. I didn't grow up with neighbors. I never had, like, that neighborhood kind of atmosphere. I grew up, literally, my closest neighbor was 5 miles away, and we would walk on the river beach to meet each other because that was only a couple miles instead of 5 miles on the highway. Like, I didn't have I had no one outside my parents to talk to, and they always, your parents want you to be happy and they want you to feel safe and comfortable, and they're doing the best they can, and they're just fucking people. We all realize this. But I think sometimes where we fuck up as just humans is in order we lessen, I guess, dampen the experiences of others to make ourselves feel better a little bit. Does that make, did that come out right? Are those the words I'm looking for? Yeah. Dampen? That's not the word. There's got to be another word for it. You know what I mean, though? It's not like an insulting, like, knocking down, but they're kind of on accident invalidating your own personal experience. Which, like, it doesn't matter if they were in the room. Your experience is your experience, period, end of story. They don't get to outside judge it just because they saw your face while it happened. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes parents can do that because they're trying to teach their kids, like, how to regulate your emotions. And sometimes kids can be overly dramatic about something that wasn't a big deal. And, you know, that's part of parenting. I don't have kids. I get it. But I don't have kids, so I can't speak to that exact, like, I don't have no idea that struggle of, like, helping your kids navigate emotional intelligence without totally bombarding it and trying to control it 24/7. I have no fucking idea. Like, bless you all for trying. What a fucking life you're leading. But I think sometimes what can happen is and then what happens is the kid, instead of acknowledging their emotional experience, they diminish their own emotional experience and pay attention to everyone else's instead. And then what kind of life is that? You know what I mean? It's like I associate emotional stuff with the pain scale at the hospital. Like, an 8 out of 10 for you is not an 8 out of 10 for me. But that doesn't mean it's not an 8 out of 10. I can't feel your feelings. I can't have your experience. Therefore, me judging your scale of emotional trauma, etc., is just as ignorant as me judging your pain scale, in my mind. That's just me. I only have a degree in psychology. I'm not a psychologist. I don't have all the extra shit. I ain't that smart. Twitch video games and my music are the only thing keeping me alive. If I didn't have them, I'd smoke myself. Dude, same. Same. I hate to say that, same. Like, the amount of social outlet that Twitch has given me and meeting people that are just as kind of quirky as me. I like to think I'm not that, like, I like to think like I'm not that quirky, but I get that having 50 tarantulas, blue hair, and lots of piercings and tattoos, and, you know, the life I lead isn't exactly the most normal of lives, and it's really, really, really hard to meet people like me, IRL, and make friends, because people like me don't go out, because we don't fucking want to go out. And the internet, like, not the caveat, but, like, the internet and Twitch itself, the amount of people that I've gotten to meet over the internet that we don't have everything in common. Nobody's going to have everything in common. But you're just as quirky as me, and you respect it and understand it, and we appreciate each other's passion for something. Whereas, you know, when I say I like video games, and a guy that's trying to get in my pants is like, I fucking love video games, man. Do you love FIFA? You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not disrespecting. You love FIFA. You fucking get down on that. But we are not the same. You know? It's a rough one. Well, your mother may have been doing the best she could, but from the outside, it appears like she didn't try all that hard. I think about that a lot. I really try not to falter for stuff, but I kind of think, you know, she said something a really long time ago, Banana, that at the time, I never kind of thought about it, but later in life, I've been like, oh my God, you can apply it to anything. She said to me that when she was going to have me, that all of her friends are like, you don't want to have kids right now. They're a pain in the ass. They really are. You have to find babysitters. You have to take them everywhere with you. Like, kids are a big responsibility. And my mom had been trying so hard to have a kid. My dad was a raging alcoholic and just lost his job, blah, blah, blah. And my mom was like, I don't care. I've always wanted kids, and she was 34 at the point, and she was like, I need to have them. I must have kids. And she told me, she's like, kids aren't hard at all. I mean, I did whatever the fuck I wanted to do. I just stuck you on my back and took you along with me. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Back when she told me this, when I was like 16 or whatever, when she told me this thing. And as I get older, and I've told my therapist this, I can apply it to almost everything ever in my life. Like, to me, it's like, oh, my mom took me on a lot of vacations, but really, we were just stuck on her back and kind of brought along because she wanted to do shit, and we happened to be there as a responsibility. But I was, again, kind of diminished and meant to feel not that way. It's weird growing up, but again, I try not to hate them because it doesn't do any help. It doesn't do any good, you know? I can FedEx a kid or two over. No, I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm good. I'll skip it. As someone who has a mother that was doing the best she could, I love the quotes, doing the best they could. Best. with someone treating anxiety in a shitty living situation, it doesn't mean she didn't fuck up all the time. I accept those things happen. Doesn't mean it wasn't fucked up. 100%. Same. Yep. Often our coping mechanisms in themselves, although they feel good to us, aren't always good for us when taken to the extremes. Games, books, music, anything to avoid taking time to think through. 100%. I mean, anything can be like a chemical addiction, right? It doesn't have to be crack, cocaine, or heroin to be an unhealthy addiction or a coping mechanism, like you said, that's an avoidance behavior for acknowledging, what's actually going on. Because once you sober up or once the game's over or fill in the blank, it's all going to come rushing back. You eventually have to deal with it, right? In one way or another, or it's just going to be this haunting fucking ghost on your shoulder forever. That's not a way to live. No one deserves to live like that. Oh my God, I'm sure I'd love your kids. I just don't want to keep them forever. Like, what would they, I mean, I don't know. They're probably pretty tough, right? They could take my breakdowns here and there. Do they clean? Are they clean? They might come back smelling slightly like bleach. Are you cool with that? Do you have any allergies? I don't have to deal with shit and you can make me. I can fly. We're flying. Flying. We're flying. Yay! Oh God. You know what's fun, honestly? Most of my friends, it's really weird because, like, I have my memories and my perception of my parents, but I'm watching all of my friends be parents. And I'm like, how do I word this? Like, all of y'all, there's a lot of you here, dads, moms, etc., everything in between, all of the parents, all my friends who are parents, you are so nauseatingly involved in your children's lives. Like, you go to their games. You are there when they wake up in the morning. I don't know, fill in the, what else do you do with your kids? And I'm like, for a while, I was questioning myself, like, do I have such skewed memories that I've written my parents out of my childhood that I think they weren't there at all? You know what I'm saying? It was weird, but it's no. Like, our parents weren't. We were latchkey kids. But I tried to rewrite my own memories to give my parents the benefit of the doubt because I was like, there's no way. There's no way that I was alone that much as a kid. Like, literally from 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. every night alone. All of us? That's not right. That's not right. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. So you try to, like, cover it up in your head with some sort of logic. But I remember, these are memories, like, unlocked by therapy. Therapy's fun, my dudes. One of them, I remember my mom was taking me to a soccer game because I was a big soccer kid when I was younger. And we parked in the parking lot, and she looked at me and she goes, "You don't want me to stay for the game, right?" Like, did this look like this? Like, you don't really want me there, right? And I was like, no, I guess not. And whoa, wow, things that are unlocked. I mean, you just never know. But you do. I think a lot of people try to do that. We all try to do that because we're not mean and we don't want to think people around us are mean or have any ill will or are selfish. Like, how could our parents be selfish? Parents can't be selfish. That's impossible. They're parents. But they're people. Right? It's fucked. Nauseatingly involved. You know what I mean? Like, you guys eat dinner together or, like, I don't know, man. Like, Kills talks about his kids sometimes, and I'm like, you are all up in them. Like, you know about your kids. You take pictures of them doing stuff. Like, you're there when they're coloring in their coloring books. It's just such a strange concept to me to have my parents in the background of literally any part of my childhood. They're just not there. Because they were working. I mean, I'm not trying to fault them. They had to work a lot. They didn't make good money. My dad is a construction worker. My mom's an RT. You know, like, with 8 kids, that's a lot. So I get it, but also, like, how can parents do it nowadays, but they're also raising their kids? And that's where my brain really pauses. I'm like, it's possible, because I'm watching all y'all fuckers be all up in your kids' lives all the time. So it's possible. I just don't know how. Don't bleach the kids. It's frowned upon. I would never. Depends on how sticky they are. Good God. Coffee cheers. Amen to that. Right, Mishy. I think since I was 7, about. Like, that was about the time that. But if I look at a 7-year-old now, I'm like, no. You know what I mean? Like, when you look, it's like looking at a 13-year-old. Like, you remember being 13 or 14 and thinking you were a badass. Like, I would wear one of my brother's, what do we call them? White undershirt tank tops. You know the ones. They had the name. I'd wear that with like a black bra underneath and like, oh, I'm such a sexy bitch. And now I look at 13-year-olds like, put some fucking clothes on, you fetus. My God, I can see your religion. Jesus fucking dicks. Oh, it's kind of like that. Like, I shouldn't, wife beater. Yep, that's what they used to be called. I don't know another name for them. A-necks, I guess. Yeah, the Hanes pack of undershirt tank top things. Those. Yeah. I remember packing pajamas and stuffed animal to go because instead of getting a babysitter, they take us to parties with them and just put us to bed at same. Oh my God, that's so weird, Viata, but hard same. I have so many weird memories of like guest rooms of my parents' friends' houses, or like the amount of times I woke up in the back seat of my Nana and Grandpa's velvet Cadillac, like, which sounds really scary, but it wasn't. It was just like I'd fall asleep on the floor in the party and they'd put me out in the car and lock me in the Cadillac to go to sleep on the big velvet back seats. Because that was okay back then. I loved it. Honestly, I love sleeping in cars to this day. It's like a magical place for me. I will always pass out inside of a car if it's running. It's great. But like in retrospect, it's a little fucking weird. I've definitely seen more than one of my aunts and uncles get a little fucky in their party years. Like, mom got fired from a job, came home, told us, gave us about 10 seconds to process, and then was all, why isn't anyone ask me how I feel? Because I'm fucking 13. Are you kidding? Because I'm 13 and wondering if we're going to lose the house. Same. Man. Same. Oh, God. Bullshit. Satan Mommy was the textbook narcissist. It was all about her, dude. Ugh, God. I hate thinking that shit. I remember packing pajamas and a stuffed animal to go because instead of getting a babysitter, they take us to parties with them and just put us to bed. God, that rings so many fucking crazy-ass accurate memories. That's amazing. A-necks. Do we call them A-necks now? Is that like the real... I don't know. Welcome back, Worthless. I think it's easier now for parents. Companies are more understanding with letting people take time with their families. I hope so. I mean, they always played up that card. I remember, like, back when my mom and when I was really young, like, her company would always be like, bring your family to the company party. Like, we include your family and whatever. It was just weird. I used to think it was awesome. Then my dad carried us to bed, but now I'm like, the fuck? Why wasn't I in my bed from jump? Same. How many times did you wake up looking over your dad's shoulder, like wondering where the fuck am I and whose stairs are these? I have visceral, like when you're really young, like too young to really remember things, but you know, you're just slunk over the shoulder and your eyes kind of open and you have that sense like we're going upstairs. Maybe he's putting me to bed, but then your eyes open enough to realize that these are not your stairs. And soon you are not in your bed, but you're so fucking tired. You just pass out in it. And then eventually your parents like carry you from said bed to whatever. What's wrong with you? She's drooling a lot. Did she get into something? There's not anything in your office, right, that she could eat that's weird? Zach said Lil was like shivering trying to crawl up on his lap. What a fucking weird dog. My dogs are weird. Fall asleep on a pile of coats, 100%. Or just fall asleep on my family members. Like, I remember falling asleep on my grandpa more than one time. My parents were there until I was 15. Then stuff went down and they buried themselves in work and church. Oh, God. It was very freeing at first, but it caused a lot of damage. I'm just figuring out now. You know, same. Isn't it weird? But it's like, I don't see another avenue for them. So I think that's part of the reason I try never to fault my parents. I don't, not with the parties and stuff, but like, you know, please, Lil, you're so drooly right now. I love you so much. Same, like, I remember there was a time when I was in high school and I got my license and I would get I had to drive like 30 to 45 minutes to school depending on, the weather. And so I would get up literally at like 5:30 in the morning, get ready, go to school. And by the time I got up and got ready and left for school, like usually my parents, either one, my dad was already gone. He left for work at like 4 in the morning, construction work. And my mom would usually sleep in too late. I'd usually be gone before my mom woke up. And then I didn't get home at night until like 11 o'clock at night because I would go from high school straight to sports practice, straight to go work fast food job straight after work. And my mom made a joke one time. It's so weird when you remember these things. Literally, I was like 16. She was like, I don't think I've seen Katie in like 11 days. I heard her say this. I was in the basement, but like the vents, you could hear everything said in the middle floor of the house. And she said something like that, but they were like laughing. Her and my dad were laughing about it. And I was like, is she laughing uncomfortably? Or like, is that joy I sense? It was weird. And I wasn't avoiding them. It was honestly, the more they allowed me to, the more I developed my own life away from home because I just was like, fuck it, I guess. Here we go. Were you ever kept away from certain relatives because they thought they were a bad influence? 100% yes. Almost all of them. Almost all of them. Anime, one of the weirdest things that my mom and I think most of the women in my family do this, but I can only speak to my mom, is she maintains that 100% of all communication goes through her. So, like, if I just say out loud, like, oh, I should call my cousin George and ask him, da-da-da-da, she'll just do it. And then 15 minutes later, she'll come downstairs and be like, oh, I talked to George, da-da-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. You know what I mean? And it's her way of, like, controlling and knowing all. But it made me very lazy as a kid. Like, I would be like, oh, mom will just fucking do it. She'll call anyone for me. And now to this day, I get anxiety calling anyone on the phone. That's just an example, but you know what I mean? It's weird the way that it works. That you, like, when you're like, this is the best thing ever. And now as an adult, I'm like, that was really, like, to this day, I don't have a personal relationship with any relative at all. Because all of my communication to them and through them has been through my mother. It's weird. It's weird. Even, like, my dad, it's weird. It's weird. I traumatized a few cousins during family visits. In retrospect, it was probably rude for me to tell my youngest cousin that there's no Santa Claus. But how old were they, though? I can laugh about it now. She never had an emotionally safe place, ever. Ugh. When she was a kid, both her parents were physically abusive and her siblings were a damn mess. My dad was an avoidant denial person. Shit was hard. She should have, dealt with it rather than bring it to us. But there wasn't a ton of resources when family wasn't available. Yeah. Yeah. That sucks. Shit's hard. And, like, what do you do? Like, and, like, you and I go through, shit in our life just as ourselves without kids. I cannot fathom factoring in having another life I have to be in charge of, as well as still just figuring out my own emotional shit because I'm a fucking basket case. You know what I'm saying? I can't imagine it. Like, parents are superheroes. I think you honestly shut off your own needs for a while. I don't know. It's weird. You developed your own life away from home because home never really provided any certain support for you. Learning that mom didn't want to be at your soccer games at a young age really stuck out 100%. And we were always alone anyways. Like, we were almost always alone. And I didn't get along with most of my siblings. We're all kind of really weirdly spaced out, like 4 years at least. So none of us are close enough in age. So home was never a fun place. Like, that was the place where my brothers were to beat me up or like demoralize me verbally. It just wasn't a fun place, so I'd rather I basically subconsciously made every excuse not to be there. And when no one made any objection, I just, continued, which is sad. I think the first time my mom ever said anything about wanting me to be close by was when I moved to Baltimore and she cried. That was it. That's like the first time, and I was like, you can't start caring about my presence when I'm 27. Like, I like that you're doing it now, but you know what I'm saying? It's like when parents try to be parents to their 40-year-old kids. Like, it's just not, this isn't the time. It's not the time. I think I've told you this. When I got my job at Johns Hopkins, I called her very excited to tell her. And her response was, oh, poop. It just wasn't the time. Good try, though. American, absolutely. I think I'm gonna have to. I mean, what time is it? I guess I'm not cutting stream early, but my dogs are being really weird, and Lil's like really drooly, and I'm worried she might have eaten something. So we can chill and talk for a while while she sits there. I want to make sure she's not sick. Our family doesn't communicate at all. They get all anxious trying to make small talk, which ends up with 6 months between any of us talking to each other. That sucks. My family does the same 6-month jump, but when they get together, it's more like, that 6 months didn't happen, but all they do is talk shit. Same, right, Nineless? And that's, my mom was like, I mean, even when she was married to my stepdad, she's still kind of the sole provider. Like, to this fucking day, my mom, she just retired, thankfully, but up until this, last January, literally, it's been a year since she retired, that's crazy. Up until last January, my mom was working 5 days a week, 12 hours a day at the hospital as a hospital administrator, and she would come home every night, cook my dad dinner, and then make him a sack lunch for his next day at work. And my dad is also an adult in his 60s. And she's done that ever since I've been a child. But she would do it, times 8 for all the kids and my dad. She kind of enables it and makes people kind of reliant on her a little bit, because I think that's where she sees all her worth, which is really sad, because she's a lot more than that if she gave herself a fucking chance. Everybody's a lot more than just your sack of lunch you pack somebody. But I think some people get stuck in that loop. You know what I mean? I understand why you're moving across country away from me when I've ignored, right? Like, this is not the time, mama. I was 18 years old working a full-time, okay, this is the narcissistic mother, working a full-time job because she was on strike helping support the bills. Good for you. You're a good boy. I got my girlfriend at the time like a $40 to $50 gold necklace for Christmas. That was very generous of you. And got my mom a coffee mug. She complained. I got my girlfriend a golden jewels and made me return the necklace and buy her some jewelry. Are you... Wow. Wow. That's fucked. That is fucked up. Man, I am sorry. That is fucked. So it makes me want to reread Death of a Salesman. Perfect outline of how parents can either fuck you up big time or just let you become who you need to be. Right? I think we all end up fucked up to a certain degree, whether we do it to ourselves or whether someone else does it to us. I think I've ended up okay, which another reason I try to give the benefit of the doubt. But that, like, my therapist, she never lets me give anyone the benefit of the doubt. She's great. She taught me about this thing. It's part of the abstinence disorder or whatever. I don't think that's what it's called. But it goes along with ADHD, where you have this weird instinct to just do the opposite of what anyone tells you need to do. They can say, like, oh, they can give you advice on your garden. That doesn't activate it. It's if someone's like, you need to, everything in your instinctual brain says, do not do that thing. Do the opposite of that thing. Make sure that person sees you do the opposite of that thing. It's so fucking annoying. It's the worst thing. I hate it so much. I fight it every day. Every inch of my being fights that. And there's part of it where, like, I learned about it when I was taking child psychology courses, and my therapist reminded me of this. I never had applied it to myself. But there's like 1 in every bajillion babies born, or some statistics. Statistics are all made up. I don't know the actual number. But there's 1 in X amount of kids born that they become their own person regardless of how shitty their parents are. And I don't know how else to put that. Because, not saying I have the shittiest parents in the world, not saying any of us do. But regardless of how terrible their parents are, this person will still end up okay. You know what I mean? Usually there's something about them. And a lot of kids have it. There's so many people in the world. It's not as rare as it sounds when you actually look at the statistic that I don't remember. But I can't remember what it is. It's oppositional defiant disorder. Thank you. It's something related to that. Where, like, I have a cousin that I think actually legitimately has this. I think he's like my 3rd cousin. He's my grandma's sister's kid. So my great aunt's kid. Would that mean my 3rd cousin, maybe? I don't fucking know. He's my cousin. He invented the CAT scan. No joke. His name is Michael Phelps, not the swimmer. CAT scan inventor. But that's neither here nor there. He was raised by a woman who was a psycho alcoholic. She had like 6 different kids, all by different priests, Catholic priests. And when he was like, he was like 14 years old. He was at school. She fell asleep with a cigarette in her hand, lit the house up, killed all of his siblings. He came home to a burned down house. She survived. That's it. Like, and it goes on and on and on. My grandma and my mom have told me so many horrific stories about this household. And yet, he went to college, dropped out. He kind of did like the Microsoft dude thing, dropped out of college and just went on to be super successful anyways. But I don't know how when that's your childhood. Like, holy shit. I can't even fathom. Amazing. Horrible, but amazing. And some babies have this. Some kids have this critical thinking skills, maybe. My son has it. I think it's a lot more common than we think. And it's not a terrible, like, as long as, I honestly, I don't know. I'm glad. I don't know what my parents did. Even with this oppositional, whatever the fuck's wrong with my brain, I can still manage to, like, function in society and follow rules and not be arrested and in jail all the time. But I think that it takes work with a kid like that. You know? To, like, be like, I know you want to buck this system, but this is a system you can't buck. You have to fight that dumb instinct in your head. I know it's there. I acknowledge it. I get it. We all have some shit in our heads that we got to fight all day long, and that's yours. It's like our cross to bear or whatever. Let's screw with Katie. Hey, Katie, you need to smoke dope. No, I don't. I hate. That's a lie. I love weed. You can't do that. Oh, God. The one thing I'm glad about, my mother never tried to fight for my attention versus a significant other. My mom didn't really do that. Nah. We were also split apart. It was kind of hard. Like, literally, my little sister, Sarah, you guys have seen her before. She looks almost identical to me, but, like, maybe a little bit more pale and freckly. We're 5 years apart, but we look identical. And my next close sibling, Corey, was 4 years older than me. And we were just all really, really crazy spread out. So we weren't ever close enough. She probably would have tried to do shit if we were, though. I don't know. Where the fuck does she get the energy? Where? Which one? My mom? I have no idea. Coffee. She lives on it. If that isn't the question I keep swinging around my head, is this what life is going to be like? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's fine to give people the benefit of the doubt when you don't have evidence to the otherwise. You turned out okay because you're an intelligent, observant, empathetic person. Thank you. I strive for that. Well, not the empathy. That one hurts. Your mom managed not to fuck up everything. It might not have been malicious, but that doesn't mean it wasn't a choice. Same. Yeah. Yeah. You sound like my therapist, man. Do you go to therapy? It seems like a mind that can't stop, though. Well, yeah. Can't stop, won't stop. I can't tell him he needs to do something right now. If I do, there's a massive meltdown. Yeah, that's basically what my mom told me is she had to learn to mind fuck me into learning it was my idea, which ended up a horrible tool because she convinced me I was fat and needed to go to Jenny Craig when I was 12. But that's neither here nor there. She did have to, like, everything I needed to do, like, you need to brush your teeth, you need to shower, you need to do these things. She'd make it out to, she'd somehow converse with me so it was my idea to do the thing. Like, I was very competitive, like, race to the bathroom kind of thing. So she'd be like, I think I'm going to take a shower. And I'd be like, bet I can beat you just because I wanted to lock her out of the bathroom. But then I'd just take a shower because I was in there. Like, shit like that. Unfortunately, she super mindfucked me later. Like, don't use your powers for evil. I know you won't. I'm just saying. Because I have to. There's a fair amount of radical acceptance you just need to have on hand at all times. True, and it takes a very mature mind to do that, I think. Really. I just got done with my therapy. How was it? Okay. I hope so. I hope it was healing. Empathy, it's so weird, Chucky. I feel like it's one of those things I don't necessarily have control over. It's like a button turns on, and I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's more than empathy, because I feel like when someone is experiencing... I'm trying to think of an example that's not terrible. You know, I've seen, like, the most horrible, like, you know, families watching their kid die or something in the ER. But it's like I can start feeling what they're feeling. I can take it on. I can see someone's injury, and if I sit there long enough and look at it, I can start, like, physically, you know, hallucinating what it feels like and giving myself pain. It's really weird. I almost have to shut down and be cold to people at a certain level just to be able to still communicate and be a human, because I start to, like, sink into it. It's really weird. I don't know why. So much therapy. Oh, I know. Me too, though. I'm just joking. As being a bitch. Same, though. Same. I honestly, I puppet her a lot. Would that be the word? I repeat what my therapist says to me a lot because honestly, that helps it stick in my head. And if it's good advice for anyone else, like, good, take it. A job building ladders, figured he'll work his way to the top. Jesus fucking Christ. How are you, Leaf? Some humans strain my capacity to be empathetic with them. Well, have you ever noticed that there's some people that, like, from the get-go, you seem to can't be empathetic with them because it always seems like, their mode of expressing what they're feeling seems so disingenuous that you almost like, cuckoosh, like, secundo uno. I've felt that. Like, I feel like there's very much a line where either I'm open to you and I'm very empathetic with your experience and I'm here because I want to share that experience with you and I want to be here to try to support you. Otherwise, it's like, cuckoosh, like this fucking steel wall comes down because I had to learn later in life to follow my gut. I truly advise everybody to follow your gut. If someone gives you icky feelings, trust them. People are icky. Follow your fucking gut and trust your dog. But for a while, like when I was a kid, because a lot of, disvaluing, what's the word I'm looking for? People disacknowledging my experience by saying, like, it wasn't that bad. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't remember it right. This is actually the way it was. That's not the way it was. You're quite the storyona. Oh, look, she's a storyona. Like, when you constantly tell everyone your child's a liar, no one ever believes your kid again, no matter who's molesting them. Like, please don't do that. But when that's constant, like, you kind of start gaslighting. Is that the term for it? Like, you start to convince yourself it's real. And so there was a very large period of my life in college where I didn't trust a thing I remembered before the age of 18. I was like, I must have chewed it up and spit it out in a different form because no one around me would validate anything I remembered. They were like, that's not the way it was. That's not who was there. You remembered it wrong. It fucking sucks. And then, trying to just be nicey nice with these people later in life when you realize how fucking the mind fuckery they all played on you quite willingly and, incessantly. It's hard. It's real hard to just smile and be like, you know what I'm saying? Fucking sucks. Invalidated, yeah. Gaslighting, man. It sucks. Well, Mishy, I'm guilty of it myself in a different form. Zach taught me this one. I have always been, and I think just product of my environment, whatever. I was taught to never accept a compliment. Or if someone compliments me, they want something, and if I accept it, that's like an unwritten contract that now I owe them that thing, even though I have you know what I'm saying? So forever, it's like, you could be like, your hair looks nice. Oh, thanks. I washed it. Or, your skin looks nice. What'd you do? I cried all night. Like that kind of just self-deprecating, I never accept it. Or telling people like, I can't even think of an example now. If someone compliments your eyes, like, my eyes look like mud. Shut up. They're not pretty. Shit like that. It's essentially invalidating someone's compliment of you. Someone is trying to tell you they admire something on you, and you're shutting them down and invalidating their opinion of that thing. And I'm fucking guilty as hell of that. But to me, I was taught that's being humble, and that's being modest, and whatever. A good little Catholic girl never takes a compliment, I fucking guess. I don't fucking know. But I had to be taught that way too, which I would have never seen. I would have never fucking seen that if someone didn't say that to me. You know what I mean? And I don't want to ever make my friends feel bad for trying to be nice to me. What the fuck? Like, when you put it that way, it's really stupid. Catholic, feel guilt. Yeah, you were born guilt. It's such a good boy. They've just been really neurotic lately. I don't know why. What up, Solipsis? How are you, love? It's not okay to invalidate anyone's feelings. I truly believe feelings are like the pain scale. Your 8 might not be my 8, but it's still an 8. I've seen so many people die that my 8 is not when I see someone die. But if someone else is at an 8 seeing someone die, that doesn't mean I can invalidate their experience and be like, that's not an 8. I've seen so many people die. You don't even fucking know, bro. This ain't a fucking 8. You want to see a fucking 8? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not fair. What the fuck? Who does that? Especially to someone they like and want to have the company of. Nah. I know, you're all very, very strange today. I just don't know why. Did I miss it? Oh, Banana, I'm so sorry. Oh my god, I scrolled right past a whole chunk of chat. Leaf, I'm okay. I have to follow my gut. Oh, shut up. If I had to follow my gut, how far it stuck out, I'd go in circles forever. I have no gut. I'm just like a sad belly button. It's not that weird. I'm often the same way, but it's because my emotional survival depended on understanding how other people felt. Hard same. Sounds like living in an alcoholic household. And being able to respond in a way that didn't cross the wrong boundary. Eggshell household. You ever heard that term? I get that one a lot. Katie, you have to stop treating people like you're walking on eggshells. It's not fair to you. I get that a lot. Like, oh, stop telling me how to walk. Oh, same. But I've been taught a lot that that's a product of very much of growing up in a household where addiction is present, whether that's alcohol or food or whatever. When addiction is present and people, when the adults themselves are relying on substances or behaviors to regulate their own emotional experience, there's no fucking way they're teaching kids how to regulate their emotional experience, nor are they acknowledging them in any way, shape, or form. So then the kids learn, well, my emotional experience doesn't matter. I'm going to manage yours just so I'm not having a bad, so you don't fucking attack me. It's hard, same. Yeah. Hard, same. I'm going to save the game real quick because my dog, I'm going to have to take off. My dog's being stupid. Not stupid. I'm worried, honestly. Like, Lilith's being foamy and I'm worried she ate something weird. My trash dog over here. Fucking, let's cheers. Fucking trash dog. My mother to this day gaslights me on where my high school graduation was held. Not sure if I told this chat, but my grandfather set it up in an Aryan club. Oh my god. And he said he was the leader at said club. Shut the fuck up. Icky. I mean, I understand why your mom wants to not acknowledge that, but come on now. That's not how we deal with things. Wow. Cheers. Ew. Comparing misery always turns out well. Or comparing trauma. Oh my god. Have you ever met someone who you're like, I feel comfortable with this person. I'm going to open up to them about a traumatic experience I had because it's on topic, and all they do is one up your traumatic experience. If you've been in this situation and someone opens up to you about something serious that happened in their life that was traumatic, it's not the time to say, "Oh, you think that's bad?"
Not the time. I don't even know what else to say. Hate.
I don't think they're aware of it. I don't think they're aware of the behavior they're going through, but man, it doesn't ever make me want to talk to you again, ever again. Ever again. He's dead now. I'm kind of glad. Is that sad for me to say? It's a product of living up in an environment where stability isn't guaranteed, regardless of what breaks that stability. Truth. I've heard that's a big theme in people that like to get tattoos. I don't know. I don't know if that's legit, how like legitimate that is, but I've heard and I've read that people that are a big fan of tattoos and getting lots of tattoos are searching for a sense of stability and permanence in their life where they have no control over that thing. I don't know. I got a lot of tattoos, but I don't feel like I don't feel insecure. I don't fucking know. I mean, I'm insecure, but like over the cellulite on the back of my thighs, not, I don't know. People think blue hair means therapy and psychology needs, but everybody needs a fucking psychologist, so who knows? I grew up in an eggshell household. Me too, Addie. Hard. And I'm still figuring out my life without it. My mother was manipulative and dismissive. Oh, honey, you don't deserve that. Of anything I felt and had happened to me. Same. My eggshells were more like my brothers, abusive. Ugh, my brothers were really explosively. And they had they were a cycle from their mom, their biological mom, would like literally choke them out when they were toddlers and shit. Fucking psychotic. So again, doesn't excuse the behavior, but I try not to, I try to look at it from that angle. Like, I pity them more than hold animosity or anger. You know what I mean? Banana! Don't forget your teeths and wash your butthole. I love you. I love getting tattoos, but I've never thought of it as a sense of permanence. I've always thought of it as a way to decorate my body because it's fun. It's just not fun to have a conversation with someone like that. Wow, you just blew my mind, and now I need to have a think. All I did was manage my mom's depression. It's a huge feature in our generation of latchkey kids, actually. My therapist, not that she's perfect and knows everything, but she likes to give me lots of she knows that during therapy, I'm very conversational and I love to work through things, but it's hard for me to just listen to someone talk at me and absorb it all. I have to be conversational. So she gives me a lot of homework and things to read, peer-reviewed papers and shit. So I read a lot of papers about stuff like that. And one thing is a huge trending behavior in people born after 1975, I think it was, or 1970. So not just a generation, people born after that period of time is and they think it's part of the education system as well, but we're trained to think that everyone's emotion around us are far more important and valid than our own. And to only take time for hours at the end of the day when we are home and we are alone, and that is self-care. But the rest of the time, because the theory was if everybody's worried about everyone else's emotions, then everybody's going to be taken care of all the time. Well, I'll be great. But it ended up like a bunch of fucking crazy kids who have no idea what we're feeling at any time. I don't even know if I'm hungry. It's weird what happened. Are they trying to one-up you or empathizing by relating a similar situation? It's more I was saying the example, Glut, was if I told, you feel open and you're telling a traumatic situation or whatever, and they go, you think that was bad? You don't know bad. You think having a cigarette burnt out on your forehead was bad? My dad put it in my butthole. You don't know bad. We're talking clearly one-upsmanship. In my opinion, there's a clear difference between someone empathizing because they've had a similar experience and they're like, oh my God, same. Oh, I'm so sorry anyone else experienced that, but also holy shit, totally different. Have y'all ever experienced someone like that where it's they didn't even acknowledge what you said? They just want to make you feel bad for thinking that was bad? Because their experience is worse. Always, no matter what. I've been accused of that before. I try to regulate that more now. I found out that it's an ADHD trait a bit. It isn't me trying to one up. It's me trying to show that I understand. And see, I honestly, same. There is an ADHD thing. It's a lot of people who have really, really strong ADHD that's untreated and they're probably unaware of it. They have a habit of interrupting people while they're having a conversation, but they're not trying to be rude. They are listening. It's called something. It's oh God, it's something participation. It's volatile participation. They are so excited about this conversation and so fucking involved. They can't wait to be in it with you. They're happy to speak at the same time as you because they can probably do the same thing. They can probably do it at the same time. They don't mean to. And a lot of people take it off as wow, what a rude fucking person. I totally get it. I've definitely trained myself out of it as an older person, but when I was younger, I know I was much more of a dick. Stop making my brain explode. I'm sorry. Should my therapist bill you? I thought about sending my parents a bill for Christmas. It says, you break it, you bought it. But I didn't. No, not for a bit. Bill, well, I'm worried. But it also could be my weed. Zach smells shit. I feel outed. I know. Dude, half the time I talk to my therapist, my jaw just drops and I'm like, why are you like this? Get out of me. Why do you see me like this? You don't know me. Accidentally saying the last word in someone's sentence because they speak slowly. Yep. Finishing people's sentences because you're just that enthusiastically. Your enthusiastic participation, is that what it is? I can't remember what it's called. But it's if you know someone's super ADHD and they have a habit of interrupting you and it makes you not want to hang out with them, just if you can, I know this is hard with some people because just talking to people is hard and a lot of people get offended, but just be hey, I know you're really excited to talk, but it feels like you're not listening. They'll slow down. We're aware we're going a million miles an hour. It's just half the time nobody will say anything. They just stop hanging out with us and stop talking to us. And we're okay. You know what I mean? It's better than being ghosted. Instead of listening to you, they're waiting for their turn to speak. That's what it looks like. And some people do that. But I swear to God, as a very ADHD person, I myself, I can listen to 4 different conversations and gather all the information accurately. It's a massive, like, I thrive in the chaos of it. And my thing is I have to step back and realize not everyone is like that. Not everyone thrives in that chaos. And I have to respect that boundary. If someone else is talking, it's their turn and I have to wait. Because even it doesn't compute to them that I'm excited to participate. It computes to them that I didn't care what they were saying. When I do, you know, it's just stopping and stepping back. Like it's Tiger Beetle. I know I've said it for years. I compare myself to the goddamn Tiger Beetle. My body and mouth and every bit of me moves faster than my brain thinks. And that sucks. And so that's our lessons for today. On that note, I'm gonna go hang out with my dog, and I hope she feels better because she's like foaming at the mouth and shit. I hope she didn't eat something weird. Interrupting people can often be enthusiastic to offer a piece of themselves because they have already accepted you and you're worth 100%. 100%. Yes. Yeah. I know, right? It sucks when you realize that because you're like, man, I know there's a lot of people that just think I'm rude, and I totally was not trying to be rude. Ugh, it sucks. Wish Lilith good health. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll continue this game. What's today? Wednesday? Yeah. Thursday. Tomorrow's Thursday. We'll continue this fun clicky game. Because this shit's still fucked. I don't know what to do about that. I guess I'm just going to play clicky games till it doesn't hurt. Really. I don't know how else. Because the top, it doesn't bleed. It's not a huge cut. It's just that weird throbby knuckle pain. So until that goes away, we'll just keep playing on the clickies. But I like this one a lot. It's fun. I know, Mishy. Chocolate, something salty, something sweet. Texture's important. That's all I got. Seriously, that's like my mental checklist when I need to feel better. Something salty, something sweet. Texture. What do I want? Do I want crunchy? I literally do this. No shit, ask Zach. He gets pissed now when people don't do that. He said that when we visited my parents. He's like, when we asked your sister what she wanted for dinner, she didn't do. And I was so upset about it. But that's how I sense what my mouth wants. Like, do I want crunchy? Do I want soft? Like, what do I want? I don't know. Sensory. It's important. Crunchy almost always wins. Cheers. Side note before I go, I think Twitch is kind of a beautiful place for a lot of us. It's the reason a lot of us ADHD find home here. Because in typing, as long as you've found a streamer that can read relatively fast and the chat's not going too fast for them, you know, whatever, so on and so forth, you can't interrupt anyone with text. You can all type and press enter at the exact same time, and I'm going to read it in the order that is presented. And I think that gives us a lot of freedom. I feel it myself when I'm hanging out in someone else's chat. Like, when they're talking about something, they're still talking, and I start typing. I'm still listening. But I'm typing my thought immediately because if I wait until they're done talking, I will have forgot whatever I wanted to add to the conversation. It's kind of like freeing in a way. I don't know. I don't know if any of you else I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but I definitely have noticed that and felt that in myself that like this Twitch is a place where I can get my thought out on the page immediately and I don't feel rude. I'm not talking over anybody. It's your choice whether or not you fucking read it, right? It's anyone's choice whether you read it. I feel it's nice. And it's important to me. I always try to get through all the chat as much as possible. If I miss any chat, I apologize. I try to read everything that's either, as long as it's not directed at someone else in the chat, I try to get through everything. But that's a big thing for me because just because we're typing when you're still talking and I'm just talking in first person for sake of, doesn't mean I'm not still listening. It doesn't mean I'm not participating in the conversation. Like, I would like you to still acknowledge what I've said. And I'm still listening. I don't know. It's hard. I get it, though. I get it, and I fucking empathize, man. We are a breed of people that is very unique, and it's hard to exist this way, but I think this is the internet's just been such a fucking beautiful place to relax. I don't feel like I'm interrupting. I don't feel like I'm being rude here. I can edit myself. I can type it out and be like, that wasn't the right thing to say. And it's just like, in real life, you know, I just say shit that it's just not. My mouth runs, man. I've got the mouth shits. I've got the Tiger Beetle face. I don't know what it is, but thank you. You guys are awesome to hang out with, Kel. Seriously, I enjoy every fucking day. I look forward to stream. I hope, and so far I hope to never take this for granted, that I am so fucking excited and just happy to see all y'all every day and just like chat about, even when we chat about the dark shit, it's fun and it's exciting and I love you. I'd like to raid Dan. He got a haircut and he's looking slick as fuck. I haven't gotten to say hi to domestic Dan in a bit. You guys cool with saying hi to the Daniel? Spreading some love to one of my dearest, oldest Twitchy friends who is now an IRL friend. Another pretty cool, awesome person, IMO, to hang out with if you're bored. I mean, even if you're not bored, you know what I mean. If you're chilling, if you got nothing to do, Dan's really cool. He's kind of like me, talks way faster than his brain functions. We also grew up insanely similar. It's kind of how Dan and I like became friends. We both grew up in really, really rural Washington State. Like, you know, borderline, the hills have eyes kind of thing. And when we realized that, we were like, oh shit, we're gonna have a lot in common. And we ended up IRL friends, and I went and cooked with him. We've been friends for literally almost 8 years now. It's insane. Insane. That's another thing with the internet. I love that I can have friends for a long period of time, but I don't have to like live locally. And man, I literally just typed in Daniel instead of Dan. Oh, I love Dan. He's great. All right. We're going to hang out with Dan and we're going to be weird. I love you guys. And I will see you tomorrow. I guess I'm going to have to change my alarm sound or something. Hopefully I don't go into a coma tonight. But if so, we'll just go late again. The weather's shitty and it's going to be snowing for the next 4 fucking days. So who cares? But I hope I'm on time. I do want to continue this game tomorrow because it's really fucking fun. Wish Lilith luck. I hope she's not going to puke or something, but we'll see. Pee after sex and wash your hands. I love you. Bye.